pagers, gaming devices, or any other portable messaging device. Students can bring the devices with them to the school, but must lock them up in approved areas such as a locker, backpack, car, or designated storage area. The exceptions to this ban would involve students who have individualized learning plans that require the use of electronic devices. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
Residents of Alabama's Gulf Coast are hoping that recent tariffs placed by President Trump on foreign imports will help boost the local seafood industry there. The owner of Billy's Seafood in Bon Secours says the industry has been affected for the past 2 decades due to seafood imports from China, Vietnam, and Taiwan. Billy Parks says the area used to have fresh Gulf of American shrimp to sell in markets and to local restaurants, but foreign imports have changed all of that, forcing some places out of business. Parks says that local fresh shrimp tastes the best compared to these imports, and yet 90% of the shrimp sold in the U.S. comes from other countries and have been frozen for months after they're pulled out of a not-so-clean farming pond. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
We all want access to care and coverage we need to stay healthy, but Farm Bureau health plans aren't the answer. They are unregulated and unreliable when it comes to covering you and your family. If you have cancer or another pre-existing condition, well, you'd be out of luck. Alabama deserves better than empty promises. Call your state legislator now and tell them to vote no on Farm Bureau health plans. Visit fightcancer.org/Alabama. It's time for real health insurance.
Paid for by the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
At the Home Depot, Spring Black Friday is here, and we've got 14 days of deals to transform your space. So what are you working on? How about a quick and stylish patio furniture update? And what's outdoor dining without a shiny new grill? Find a wide selection of grills under $300, like the Next Grill 4-burner for only $229 at the Home Depot. Then add a little ambiance with string lights. Shop 14 days of deals during Spring Black Friday, now through April 16th at the Home Depot.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the Friday edition of the program. Splashdown. Successful splashdown as the Fram2 astronauts are back on Earth. They've now been recovered, already out of the Dragon capsule. That was cool to watch as I was getting ready the last hour. The tariffs are on. China's reacting, as are many other nations, some good, some bad. There's so much to get to. There's also a lot locally going on. So let's introduce the cast of characters today. We have Eddie Bader and Craig Munger. How you gentlemen doing?
Pretty good.
finer than frog's hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Here, I got to adjust your camera a little bit.
Put me in frame.
Yeah.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr.
There
DeMille.
you go.
I am a star of stage and screen.
Now, I can't believe I'm going to say this thing because I know it's a big lift. It would probably mean more money and a whole transfer of tax. It'd be a big, big mess. But it's not as big of a mess as I think the current county school system and school board is here in Montgomery. Y'all are a mess. An absolute unmitigated disaster of a mess. You run out of town a talented young superintendent who's just getting started because he doesn't want to deal with y'all's mess, even though he's trying to do something good. And now, instead of doing a search far and wide, you just decide on two people. And it looks like one of the two people you picked was all caught up in some big fraudulent scheme that the feds looked into. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Dude, look at their...
It's a big mess. Maybe we need a city school system. That's a big mess. To get a city school system is a big mess. I see why you go, whoa. But look at the mess right now with that school.
And this is after a state intervention. Like, this is the state had to take over the Montgomery County BOE.
Yes.
And then they bring in this guy who, the guy who they fired, whose name is completely escaping me, who was kind of a stud. Like,
Melvin Brown.
From what everyone,
Melvin Brown.
From everyone, I don't know anything about school administration or that anything at all. But everyone I talked to that I know isn't a dummy seemed to think that he was kind of a stud.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nah, bye, dog. Okay.
And it's just, and this is my first ever. I graduate. Well, it's before I graduate from Auburn. I'm like, let's try campaign life. We'll do a local election.
Yeah.
Dan Morris was helping out. I was working with Dan, some interning. I was like, yeah, let me go. And it was a school board campaign. And, I canvassed and you learn about, okay, here's the issues, the problems of the school board. I've known people very well who were on the Montgomery County School Board. And my sense of it, especially after in the campaign, is like, this is what happens when you give mediocre adults a little bit of power. Like they're Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson engaging in self-government. No, this is an absolute mess. I don't care if y'all won a popularity contest where a few hundred people maybe voted, maybe a few thousand. Get your act together. Dadgummit. That's all I'll say on that, unless y'all want to add something.
Well, I'm just saying, considering we know who Stephen Reed's pick is in this race, because of this information that came out and who it was run by. They are,
Well, but it shouldn't be between the two, though.
No.
Yeah. So if you look at all the other, say, stakeholders in the city, the big players, they're just mad that it's already down to two.
Yeah.
I believe the Chamber of Commerce pulled out from hosting a forum to meet the candidates because you're like, you didn't consult with us and you just boiled it down to these two. So it's just, again, it's a mess. Absolute mess. And then talk about another big old mess. So the tariffs are put on. China now retaliates with 34% tariffs on U.S. goods. Though at the same time, oil drops to a 5-year low.
Yep.
And Trump blasts China for panicking. So China panicked. They shouldn't have panicked. Essentially saying this is only going to get worse. But it's not just oil dropping. Like you see the markets, the stock market going down. It's not just oil dropping, though. The 30-year mortgage rate falls to 6.6%.
On average, yes, that's good, Joey.
Just good?
It's better. It's Joey, to be quite honest, it's the right direction.
And more is needed.
Yeah, because big thing with housing. I'm sitting on a 3% mortgage. I need a bigger house, but right now my interest rate would be double that. So do I really need a big house? I'll just sit here and wait for interest rates to come down. It just stifles things. That's how it goes.
I don't think I'm gonna ever be able to refinance.
And most people, you're right. Unless something comes along where you're just like, I've got to cash out. Now this is going to mess everything up. But that's what people have to do sometimes.
Yeah.
I do think it'll come back around, but I think we're a year away from seeing 4%.
Okay. But
it's 4% isn't even pre-pandemic. I mean, it was lower than that pre-pandemic, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, there's several people I know 2 3/4. Right.
Well, the goal of, in particular, Trump and Bessent was to bring down oil prices, bring down, say, 10-year treasury yields, bring down interest rates in general. Trump is now also putting out a missive to Jerome Powell of cut rates now. You're always late. Don't play politics on this. Go ahead and cut rates now. Also, in the tariff news, Mexico has surrendered early on tariffs, saying, Yeah, please, let's
Come
help
on.
out.
They're-
Vietnam has now said, yeah, we'll do zero.
Yeah.
Let's have
Zero for zero, baby.
And then Argentina is already in final negotiations with the U.S. to become the first zero tariff country.
Is he here now, Malay?
I don't know if he's here today, but good on Javier Milei.
I think I saw him with the Trumpster.
And so it sounds like Trump is happy about this, and he's not really surprised by this. And honestly, folks saying, oh, I've lost this much of my retirement. It's like, do you not, if you have a big portfolio, do you not understand how this works, like, over time?
Well, and honestly, I'm just so I could not care less about the portfolio of people whose participation in the market that portfolio represents is what has systemically screwed generations of Americans due to selfishness and lack of forward thinking. So cry me a freaking river for your portfolio.
Not only that, a lot of the people that I see crying about it, they have no portfolio.
Yeah.
They have nothing in the stock market.
I have no portfolio, so I have no skin in the game. But
Well, and it's also like, if you're near retirement age or in retirement, you should probably be in a position where you're not losing much of anything through all this.
This whole retirement thing, like you're entitled to some retirement, you have your retirement, take control. People, even in the Social Security discussion, they're just the entitlement of these R words. It just drives me crazy. I'm not, by the way, I this is shocking because it's really annoying to me. I do not know enough about economics or the history of economics to have an informed opinion about tariffs. I just don't. And I'm tired of hearing the opinion of people who couldn't tell me what a tariff was 3 months ago.
Here. There's a lot of that going on right now. And, I've criticized Trump for years. It's like, let me go to my handbook here. What are libertarian principles? Oh, you're against. You're wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not how the world works. I'm sorry.
But see, I know nothing about like I said, in order to understand, in order to have an opinion about these tariffs, you would have to have a historical knowledge of the trends of tariffs and how they work throughout American history. Right. I don't, and neither does anyone I know.
Here's my understanding. A tariff is a tool. Yeah. Adam Smith was right, but he's right in a world where you don't have all these different nations competing. He's right in the sense if you have one unified polity around the whole world, Adam Smith's 100% correct. But then if you have different nations competing, some will use tariffs. Now, tariffs are a tool. They can be used badly. Yeah. For instance, say in the last 50, 60 years, tariffs have worked beautifully for China.
Right.
But tariffs have worked miserably for Latin America. Yeah. Didn't have the same effect. And again, I think Trump is using these partly as a revenue raiser and partly as we're going to find out who our friends are. Mm-hmm. As we're resetting the global, say, tariff schedule, and beyond that, the entire global order, the liberal international order is over. So we're resetting the deal by doing this in this big, bold way. We're about to find out who's our friend who's like, yeah, let's go to zero together, Donald, and who is going to panic, as Trump said. And in particular, this is all aimed at China. I think China has very successfully, since, say, the 60s, been a mercantilist economy.
Yeah.
And they've engaged, while we're playing the free trade game, so-called free trade, though we never really quite got to where I think the true free marketers wanted. While we're playing that game, China is realizing, we can get like designated developing nation, and we can essentially use all these tools and methods that go back years in order to feather our own nest. That's why I think the Chinese are reacting the way they are in this moment.
Well, they've experienced significant prosperity and advancement in their culture because of their international trade. So it's right to be concerned.
Yeah,
it's right to be worried. But I wouldn't recommend panic. See, that's the thing is, you said it's a tool, and that's a great word. But I mean, strategy is a better word for it, because the people who are against tariffs and the people who are for tariffs have equally, in my opinion, compelling arguments. So this is a strategy. Maybe it's unconstitutional, the level that he's going through. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I mean, it's kind of just, you have to wait and see.
I agree. No, I agree with that 100%, because a lot of this is going to be negotiated. There are many different players that are going to react to this. Strangely, the jobs report that just came out shows the U.S. economy stronger than expected in all the predictions. A lot more job growth than people wanted. And by the way, if we go into actual recession, and maybe with all the job cuts in the federal government, which didn't show up in this jobs report because people that got early retirement and severance and stuff are still counted as employed, which is, especially the severance thing, that's fairly reasonable.
Still income coming in.
Exactly. So you're going to see some downturn in jobs, say with all the cuts in the federal government, but the idea is to bring more manufacturing back.
Yeah, I can't, like in Canada, I'm loving it, because Canada with automakers, he put a tariff back on them. So if it was cheaper for me to, as Chevrolet or whoever, to build a car in Canada, but now it's not, but I've got the same plant here in the U.S. Hey, it's not as easy as flipping a switch, but it's almost that easy.
Right.
Yeah, and I think now, if you are going to make a move on Canada, now is the time, because you have the interim homeboy in there, whose name I think is Polivier, or however you pronounce his name. If he gets elected, which it seems like he probably is,
he is a shoo-in.
He's not going to puss out for Donald Trump.
Right.
So I think as far as the Canada play, whether or not it's a good idea or not, I again, unqualified to say, but I think if you're going to do it, now is the time to do it.
Well, and there's things like the USMCA is exempt from these new tariffs that are going on. So a lot of the worry about like the auto manufacturer that crosses the border of Mexico 7-8 times as it's being put together, like that's under USMCA. You'll already have reprieve from these general tariffs we're putting out. This is essentially Trump and his team going, we're resetting the balance of trade around the world. It is also playing into a larger geostrategic strategy. And I think the goal is different. If you think of the goal not as like pure GDP growth, but in the long run, develop the quality and say value of your people and the other assets, physical non-person assets in the country, that this is sort of the idea that you might have increased GDP by, say, shipping auto manufacturing to this or that foreign country, but you devastated the Rust Belt.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people, you get the opioid crisis. You get a lot of the despair and
same here in the textile
industry.
Yeah. I mean, that's your prime example here.
So, like, if you're trying to think about, yes, we need growth, we need economic development and wealth, but it can't be at the expense of making your own population less valuable
and learn the code
and no purpose. Yeah, and that's the worst part. There are things in life, for instance, that aren't measurable. You can't just measure it in a GDP metric. You can't underwrite the utility of a given thing in every aspect of life. Like, think of like the beauty of certain skyscrapers. Well, and think about the ancestors not long ago who built all that stuff in this country. They didn't have metrics like GDP. That doesn't come about until the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of folks that had international trade and finance, and they built amazing buildings and businesses. And in particular, the era that Trump always points to, the late 1800s, that was the greatest spring forward in human prosperity ever before seen. And I always hear a lot of lefty types, the bleeding heart types, who go, well, there's more to life than just the dollars and cents. I'm like, I agree. But the underlying wealth creation and innovation of that time period was crucial to all the social progress that y'all constantly hail.
Oh, yeah.
If we weren't wealthier by leaps and bounds, kids would still be working on the farm and probably not living very long. If, like, you want to talk about the so-called liberation of women?
Yeah.
Does that happen unless you get massive economic growth? No. There are a lot of things that we take for granted that you need the technological underpinning, you need the growth. And again, it doesn't have to be always scored as some formula where you have physics envy. It can be, no, we're going to build these things because they're good for the people in this community and they're beautiful and they will make us a better society in the long run. We'll see. It's going to be a bit of a mess.
That's the big thing. Is like, we'll see. These, again, experts who, I cannot stress this enough, didn't know what a tariff was several months ago, who are all of a sudden experts. It's like, no, the fact is, it's a gamble. It is a gamble. We don't know what the effect is. It could be disastrous. It could be very, very good. You kind of have to wait and see. Could be both. It could have aspects of both. I think the constitutionality of it is a far more interesting conversation than what the effect is going to be, because you don't know. It's all speculative.
Well, in the constitutional questions, the Congress a long time ago, probably for foreign policy reasons, gave this power to presidents.
Yeah.
And I think we even saw Rand Paul voting with the Democrats as we try to peel back some of that authority in respect to Canada for constitutional reasons.
Yeah.
But I think you've hit the nail on the head, Craig. We'll see. Let it play out. And what the Trump administration themselves are saying is we're probably going to see pain. You're going to see markets correct and reorganize supply chains, all this stuff. Watch out for the fourth quarter of this year. That's when you're going to really see the so-called flowers bloom that we're expecting.
Well, and the thing is, I'm fine with a little bit of delayed gratification and pain.
Sure.
As I've talked about, like the country, the nation, the government, I should say, has overextended itself in a big way and has left, has sort of bent itself over for the rest of the world to have a go. And so any sort of correction is going to be painful, the same way that any cutting of government spending is going to be to a certain degree painful, just like anybody who needs to get their finances together. Hey, guess what? You don't get to go out and eat quite as much.
Right.
You don't get to have all the cool stuff that you want. I would accept it's going to hurt in the short term argument better if that spending package that they just passed didn't have all of the old pork in it.
Well, and I think
that's what's frustrating.
I think we're at a point too where any small business owner, or maybe it's not even small business, you run a big nonprofit, maybe you run a big business. I think, but small business owners in particular understand, like Eddie, you've spun up, say, a business for yourself. Yeah. You have. Literally, you have.
Several times.
And it's Hannah. Hannah did it all.
She's the one that'll go harder in the paint.
Secrets out, man.
She's the brains of the operation.
Killing me.
You're just there to entice wealthy white women with your dad calves.
And that that bush light. Dad calves and bush light.
Like I saw no BS listeners out there. I saw a picture of Eddie in a cutoff and shorts.
Oh man!
And I'm telling you, the man is a stud.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and you kind of have the je ne sais quoi of like Craig Ferguson.
Yeah,
you kind of got that. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you're a hair's breadth. If you were just a little bit more famous, you could be a bona fide sex symbol.
Yep.
Here's the thing about, like you say, the almost famous part. It's embarrassing because it's just embarrassing for so many reasons. But especially, I went out with a friend probably last year, and we went into a local bar. And because he likes to embarrass me, he yelled, "Hey, everybody! Eddie's here." Famous Eddie Vader's here. Of course, nobody there knew me. My face was like 10 times purple.
Right.
I can't stand that. But I have learned you have to put it out there.
So, but let's get back to the point at hand.
Yes, sir.
A great tangent.
Sorry.
The dad calves aren't the full of your business plan, I'd imagine. And
no,
I'd imagine
just a teaser.
As you develop your business plan, you develop a process, especially say like an administrative process. It's not just the literal, here's what I'm trying to do. How can I administrate that and create a process that makes sense to me, that's going to be cost effective? So imagine you're a small business. You are, number one, in massive debt. You have a massive debt load.
That's small business.
That debt is maturing and you need to refinance and you're facing higher interest rates. You are also not doing as well in your business goals. In fact, you might be like miserable failure. I'm thinking of like American public health institutions.
Oof, okay.
And somebody comes to you and goes, "Hey, Eddie, I see you're having a little trouble with the debt load. You're not meeting your goals. What if on the administrative side, here's a new process that will save you money and help you accomplish your goals better?" You probably maybe would look at it.
You at least bite. Yeah.
You don't necessarily go whole hog into it,
No,
but you're going to go,
bite.
well, I'll entertain this idea.
Yep.
Wait, I was getting charged this much to process payments and now I can have this much less. I was getting charged this much for essentially outside HR and I can get this service and it's much less. And I think that's what we're going through with in terms of federal government cuts. Look at just the healthcare sector. There are a lot of folks screaming and yelling that you're cutting research. It's happening at UAP here in this state. Apparently there were some protesters outside.
But are they really?
The GOP dinner. No, what they did is they put a 15% cap on indirect costs.
Right.
85% must go to direct research.
What is so problem
15% can only go to indirect costs. Well, folks are like, well, I provide copy editing for a particular journal that publishes things out of this or that hospital, and it's a peer-reviewed journal. And if I got fired, then they're not going to publish as many peer-reviewed articles. And you go, and I think that's all the folks who are working on the current process. Again, big debt load. You need to refinance that
Gotta do
debt.
something, yeah.
You haven't met your goals in decades. And somebody goes, you know what? Maybe you should cut down on your administrative cost and try to build a better mousetrap. The people that have been stuck in the old process are like, no way. If I'm gone, this thing will never work. And I'm like, you're not thinking creatively. You're not thinking entrepreneurially. You're thinking like somebody who's been in a bureaucracy. And that's what needs to change in many ways. And I think the same thing thought experiment can be applied to the tariff schedules, to the way we've done foreign policy. There are a lot of folks that have been going through the normal process, and it's been the process for decades. They're like, if you change that process, things are only going to get worse. And then everybody else who's like, well, we need to change something because you're going underwater. You're not accomplishing your goals. You're only wasting more of your time, money, and energy on just servicing the debts you continually take out.
That's all we're doing.
Time to revisit the process. And it hurts. You can think of it in everyday life. I think most people within the sound of my voice, I know folks here in the studio, say you have some bad habits and you need to get out of those bad habits. Is it easy? No, not by any means. Say you're addicted to something. Is it easy to stop? No, but should it be done if you want a better quality of life, if you want to be able to think clearly, if you want to be able to live longer, feel healthier, yada, yada, yada? Yes. So it does remind me of sort of the addict's vicious cycle, where you're like, you hit a certain point where you have diminishing returns, where you're like, I don't even get the pleasure that I once got when I first started doing this stuff, because that's how you get hooked. You're like, it feels great. Why do people do drugs? Because they kind of work at the beginning.
I don't know. I've never done drugs.
And then you get the diminishing return to where you're just now finding the next fix so you don't have the downward spiral. So, So it's like now you're just avoiding pain, though the pain is there every time you get like, and so it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like, why not pick your pain, get out of that vicious cycle, and let's find a new footing. And so I get that there are a lot of folks belly aching and think it's not possible to change this, that, or the other system, but we have to. We have to. Let me say it again. We have to, or else we're going to have a much bigger painful experience than anything we might be seeing with changing tariffs, changing how the federal bureaucracy works, or really changing how our economy and place in this world as a nation works. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. Aren't they great, Eddie?
One of the best ones in the business, Joey.
Ashley and the team there, they're ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. Go ahead and get on a subscription plan. Yeah. And you can get that basic pest control service. You can add on a mosquito service.
That's right.
They're visiting something like 8 times a year to stay on top of it.
Yep. And they're starting out right now, Joey. Skeeters were out last night, ran us off the porch at my house.
I've seen some around my place too.
So it's time to bring them out.
You know what happened? We accidentally left the garage open.
Hey.
So it's not a lot, but it's like 5 or 6 of those big old ones up in the corner. Yeah. And it's like, whatever. I still haven't seen wasps. Maybe you have a particular one, like you think the wasps are hunting you, like me.
You want me to bring you a few, Joey?
Pest Pro can help you out with that. And of course, we're not out of the woods yet with termite season.
No,
and
man.
if you haven't had your home or property inspected for termites, you need to. And Pest Pro Services is ready to help you with just that. So check them out today. You can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. Or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. What do you want to know? Call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that fantastic team that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you. Now, we don't have to do the politics thing all day today.
Are you sure?
I mean, we could, because there's plenty happening at the State House. Some great reporting by you, kind sir.
Oh, thank you.
And I was ready to punch my phone seeing the Ledbetter quote, the Speaker Ledbetter quote about the overtime tax. I'm like, really? We already, I don't know if you heard us, ranted and raved about your the Delta 8 hearing.
No, I was so mad that I couldn't come on the radio the day that it happened. You have
lots of people, man.
You have no idea how much work is involved in doing what I do. So I felt really bad, but I was so glad that I was able to shoot you the story, and because I was sitting there listening, and you know, me and the other journalists, I'm obviously kind of a pariah. I'm friendly with the majority of them,
Yeah.
but they're all lefties for the most part.
Of course.
And in fact, the most left one is my best friend in the press corps. But I'm sitting there listening to this arguments, and here's me, sober me, Christian me, what most people would assume a fuddy-dud, and I'm just sitting there looking at them like, what the are they talking about?
What
Half
really
a gummy equals an entire bottle of vodka? In what? Give me that gummy.
Right. We'll do the radio show.
My favorite line was, should I have gloves on holding this?
What a dumbass. Yeah, that's where I just
what?
Representative Witt, you are a fine man, and I think you're very kind and you're very intelligent, but that was a very, very silly thing to say.
Yes, it was a very stupid thing to say and do. I'm sorry if I don't know Mr. Witt.
I do, and again, I think if he didn't bring it would be much. I would be much more gracious if he didn't bring the friggin' ABC board into it.
I know. Well, and also there's some stuff in there. I actually found myself agreeing with Jeremy Gray, where it's like, minors shouldn't have this. And a lot of the people that run these stores
everyone said that. They don't sell to minors.
They already don't. So, and then also maybe some basic like testing standards. Where's your independent testing room? Can you confirm that?
I can live with that.
Yeah. That's fine.
But in fact, most companies do that in general because they want their quality. If you're buying Delta 8, Delta 9, THCA, THCP, whatever, if you're buying that from a sit-go, you deserve any bad thing that happens to you. Now, if you go to a head shop or a vape store where the people, for the most part, are pretty passionate about having good quality, good quality products.
They want the return customer, right?
Exactly. So this is how the free market is supposed to work. And and there was a woman who got up there and she was talking about, she said that a family member had did some Delta 8 and then had a psychotic break. And then they had other people that were talking about overdosing. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean that you just had a bad experience? And then there was people talking about that they had to call Poison Control Center. And I was like, that doesn't mean anything. Who amongst us has not gotten too high accidentally where we thought we were dying and considered calling the ambulance? Anyone?
Yeah, I just never did.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Just remembered, I'm just
just
honestly, alcohol. I felt that more with
just-
alcohol than anything having to do with marijuana.
Well, I mean, and for me, I almost called the 911 on an acid trip one time because I was positive I was dying. But nonetheless, the point is, just because
you did die, by the way.
Yeah, I did. It was an ego death. Just because you had a bad time on an edible, which everyone who's ever taken marijuana has done, you've had a bad experience at least once. That doesn't mean that there's some inherent danger here. The only danger is you're going to have a bad time, and maybe you should rethink your life choices or your doses, one or the other.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff over the counter you take too much of that will kill you,
including vitamin C, water, aspirin, Tylenol. Literally salt. Everything can kill you if you take too much of it, except for, funnily enough, marijuana.
Yeah, I know. And it's just, I get folks being concerned. And also, they're acting like, I mean, guys, this has been legal for years.
Yeah.
It's not like we're sitting here talking about we should legalize it. It's been legal for years.
Let's see. What year is it? It's 2025.
2025.
I haven't
Since
had
2018.
I haven't had to buy pot I haven't bought pot in like 7 years at this point. If I wanted to right now, I could go get some. I don't know. I have zero connections. I could go do it.
Right.
So what you have here is people who are trying to be good citizens, trying to follow the law. Maybe they have priors. Maybe they just don't want to get pulled over with weed in their car.
Maybe they just don't want to do anything illegal.
Yeah, maybe that. So what are we going to do? We're going to punish these people now. And we have business owners that, by the way, contribute to the economy, and they're helping people, providing them with a perfectly legal good and product that these people want. And all of a sudden, the state just decides, no, why?
Right. And let's bring the ABC board into
yeah, that part just.
How you like that,
also,
Craig?
this bill should die, with all due respect to Representative Witt, because it doesn't go far enough for, and I respect her, Becky Garrettson, doesn't go far enough for Eagle Forum and those types who want an outright ban.
Yeah.
And then for other folks who are like, this has been legal for 7 years at least, if not longer. What? You want to tax us and regulate us like we're alcohol?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look what they did with Kratom, dude. I've known people that they own businesses and they had to be shut down because the state was just like, no, you can't have this ground up plant.
So we can get into the politics thing.
No.
We kind of just did there. But there's one nerd thing you and I will get. The M dash, like the long dash in writing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Zoomers saying this is a signal that ChatGPT wrote it. I'm like, no, I've been using the dash for a long time in my writing. It's just a nice break in, say, a thought or a sentence.
Yeah, and it's a lot. I think it's underutilized. Most of these boomers, they still use the comma sandwich, and I think that's sort of. I don't like the comma sandwich either. I think it's sort of antiquated. But you also need an M dash if you do a Dateline. Like, so for instance, if you look at my story, if I'm on site, you'll see in all capitals Montgomery M dash and then the lead.
Right.
Like, so I use an M dash, multiple times a day.
Well, and you've read my stuff. I use them all over the place.
Yeah, because you're and it's great for someone like you who's a long form thinker.
Yeah.
So you have, if you were to write the way that you speak and you talk, it would be such a glaring run-on sentence, and the M dash is brilliant for breaking that up a bit. So yeah, boomers, shut up.
So it's actually the Zoomers.
Oh, it's the Zoomers.
Yeah, it's not. You apologize.
I'm sorry, boomers. I'm very harsh on you all the time, but yeah, Zoomers.
And always gets forgotten, the silent majority, the silent generation. But I think it's because they're so silent.
What? Who's the silent generation?
Like my grandfather. They're older.
Yeah.
No, and they really are the types that grew up being able to trust institutions, trust things. Like these are the kids of the greatest generation, and I think they are some of the coolest actually still around, because they've seen a lot, where they've seen how that trust has fallen over the years. Like, they can remember back the early space race, all the stuff, the Cold War, and now they look at things, they go, what the heck is that? So I kind of love my silent generation out there. You folks that all voted for Nixon.
It was so funny when I was growing up. Everyone, all the boomers wanted to talk about was how silly the millennials are. They've completely forgotten about the millennials because the Zoomers just really lost their marbles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or we could also get into I don't know, we didn't do this on air, maybe to our credit, but that Ole Miss freshman, that beautiful blonde young girl, where the story was she slept with her boyfriend's father.
We did it on air.
Somebody
did, yeah. Somebody did.
Well, I don't think we named her. It was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was a very viral story where it's like some Ole Miss freshman, some blonde sorority chick sleeps with her boyfriend's father. Well, she's come out now and saying it's not true at all, and they're looking for legal action. It's kind of fascinating how we'll maybe get into the clip, see if we believe her. Also, a North Dakota mayor. I don't even want to read it. I think I just want to play the story. Because, be careful what you film with their phone, and then be extra careful what you filmed, where you send it.
Yeah.
Don't fat finger it. Don't pull a Mike Waltz with Jeffrey Goldberg in the Signal chat, especially when it's a video you thought would be good for your girlfriend.
I'm not a big fan of group chats.
No?
Wait, we have a group chat.
No, sometimes I'll be in a group chat
three
with
people.
Me and Hannah and a client, and I not realize the client's in the chat.
Oh no!
And
that's happened. That's happened before.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't a client; it was a family member.
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah. Where it's we have a separate we have a separate group chat to talk about one specific family member, and then I choose the wrong one, and I was like,
it usually leads to me going back with, "This is why I hate group chats."
I was in a group chat sent to me at 9 something last night. It's my brother Will and his lovely wife Caroline, and it's a video of them. I guess the baby's been put down to bed, and they are trying the bomb Beyond Insanity, the hot sauce,
which is very good.
Oh
no, it is not.
It's tasty.
No, it is not.
Yeah. Actually, what I do is
some flavor.
I add a little drop to regular hot sauce just to give it that extra kick, because the flavor of the bomb is great, but it is incredible.
I don't know if we're talking about the same one.
No, with a nuke on the front.
Yeah,
I used to have
tasty?
a bottle. Dude, I grew up in China.
Everybody else is like, you just eat mercury?
No, China. Spice with China.
Megadeth. The Megadeth hot sauce is the worst I've had.
Okay. Well, they sent me a video where they tried it.
Just
a little bit. And they're both falling out. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, I'm happy to have that group.
You should send them the Dorito hot chip challenge in. Like that one chip.
That Packy or Pop,
something like that.
Yeah, I've always wanted. We should do that on air, the three of us.
Well, that one's tough. I'd almost prefer a sauce, because that's the dusted, the seasoning.
Yeah. If you
powderized
cough a little bit and it goes up the sinuses, forget about it.
You're done.
But I'm telling you, man, I think if you could combine spiciness and nicotine in a pill. It's one of the more psychedelic things you can get. So if you eat something really spicy and like throw down a couple cigarettes, it's a very euphoric sensation.
Oh, I know. I
Great.
got the nicotine pouches, and I've been eating a lot of Chili Crunch lately. It's pretty awesome. It is a pretty good combination.
What is they had at Fresh Market that I had, which was like dried mangoes with chili powder on it?
Ooh,
oh my gosh,
that sounds pretty good.
It was really good.
Man, that sounds awesome. Anyway, we got to hit this break. Austin Branco should be joining us before too long here. He can help us make some sense of what's going on economically. And in many ways, they called it. Like, I know Austin, Brandt, the whole team there at Invista Advisors have been like, no, there's going to be a big correction into these tariffs. And they've been, I think, in a position prepared and ready to go.
That's something I don't quite understand. Like Portnoy, I saw him today or yesterday. He said he's down $7 million. Why didn't they know this was coming? He literally announced this is what's going to happen. So if you had that kind of money in the market, I thought you would have enough sense to go, hey, move a little protection over for a day or so.
Yeah, there are, those Thug Life memes going around, but it's Scott Bessent. And because he has a quote he put out the other day, he's like, this is not really a MAGA problem, more a MAG 7 problem, which is the top 7 stocks. Top 7 companies. He's like, yeah, they're going to get hit hard. And the NASDAQ is going to get very hard right now.
So he even said it.
Right.
And
But it was kind of like that's cold-blooded. Sounds more like a MAG 7 problem than a MAGA problem. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Are you thinking about selling your home? Here's a question for you. Would you trust your biggest investment to someone who's only doing real estate as a side gig? They've got another job, so how focused are they on getting you the best results? I'm Hannah Grantham, and for us at Forest Meadows Homes and Land, real estate is our full-time and only job.
That's right. You don't have a part-time banker, so why would you have a part-time realtor?
So if you're thinking of selling, think Hannah Grantham and Eddie Bader, and let's make sure your home gets the attention it deserves.
We're full-time agents getting full-time results. Give us a call today, 334-322-0662.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home, from troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
With spring officially here, Pizza Perfect has sprung a great deal for April. Get a free order of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks with the purchase of any large pizza. That'll make the whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza, as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. You're thinking of selling your home. Here are several ways to improve the look of your home and possibly the value. Number one, improve the curb appeal with trim bushes and cut the grass. Repaint the exterior where needed, and if needed, paint your front door. Number two, declutter the inside of the home by removing items that are not needed off countertops, dressers, and the den. 3, paint walls and trim where needed with a fresh coat of paint in a light color that will show off your home. 4, clean your oven and microwave inside and out, make it shine. Number 5, professionally clean carpets or shine the wood floors with a polish or Bona. 6, clean out all closets or unwanted clothes, shoes, belts, hats, and donate them to a local charity. Finish any leftover repairs now, doorknobs, light bulbs, and closet doors. For a complete list and an in-person evaluation and consultation, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Frequency sells. The more ads you can get on the air, the better the chances it will make an impact. Radio allows advertisers an inexpensive way to get their voices heard over and over again. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Our string of record-breaking warmth and storm-free days continues for now. Breezy today and incredibly warm for April with a high temperature of 88 to 90. That would break another record. Breezy with southeast winds gusting to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 66. Tomorrow, windy, a dry day, sun and cloud mix. High temperature up to about 89. Dry through the evening hours Saturday night, but overnight and towards Sunday dawn, showers and storms move in. We've got a severe weather threat on Sunday, including damaging winds and a tornado threat. We'll watch it for you from the National Tropical Weather Conference, South Padre Island, Texas. Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Budget Floors and More is your low-price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader and Craig Monger here in the studio with me. And I didn't see that Clark has been holding forever. I apologize. Clark, welcome to the program.
Hi, Mr. Clark. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
That's a good thing. So, on the tariffs, the same people that told us in 2017 that Donald Trump would get us into World War III, crash the economy, cause rampant inflation, et cetera, stole an election in 2020, did everything they could to get us into World War III, crashed our economy, and caused rampant inflation. Now, Donald Trump has done things that I thought were counterintuitive when he did them, but they always seem to work out. So I'm going to give him some leeway here on the tariffs.
I'm on the same page.
Mm-hmm. We talked earlier, y'all did, about businesses, small businesses, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you something to talk about the rest of the show if you want it. It's a thought problem. Between DOGE, eliminating some federal jobs, hopefully quite a few, and the severance packages, the early retirement, there'll be a lot of people leaving federal employment, joining the workforce. Now, there's also talk about people that receive benefits maybe no longer receiving these benefits, and they might have to go get jobs. Now, here's the question. If you're hiring people, who would you or would you not want to hire? Someone that's been trained to sit at home and not have to go to work? Or somebody that's been trained to go to a job but not have to work?
Wait, give me the two options again. Somebody who's been trained to sit at home and work, or somebody who's been...
You've got somebody that received a check from the government to not go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got somebody that's a former federal employee that's received a check from the government to go to work but not work. I don't want to hire either one of them.
I think the latter's worse.
I think it is, because they've been trained. Even if they're there, they don't have to do anything. And if you ask them 5 things what they did, they'd want to quit, I guess. That's that's not hypothetical. We've already established that. I just thought that was kind of interesting on a bulldozer last night after my day job, and got to thinking about that. Who would I want to hire, not want to hire? And I'm like, well, not either one of them, but I can't figure out which one I wouldn't want first.
Oh, I like that. We can make that a regular segment. Bulldozer Thoughts with Clark.
There you go. Well, I'll let y'all get back after it. I appreciate you hearing me out on that.
Appreciate you. Thanks,
Thank you, Clark.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting and their River Region Contracting. Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with that roof of yours.
Yep.
Should be inspecting that roof every few years, if not every year, especially with the way storms roll through, especially like this time of year. You're worried about those bumps you heard in the middle of the night. Why not call up River Region Contracting, and they'll come out and inspect that roof for you for free. Absolutely free. And their estimates say they find a problem. They'll write up an estimate on how to fix it for free.
That's right.
They're also insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. They really are helping so many folks around the River Region. They're the top premier roofing contractor here in the area. Call up River Region Contracting today at 356-8635 just to get an inspection. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Craig, those guys on the radio, said you. Oh, no. I don't think we're ready. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready. Duke, I ain't ready today. I'm not ready today. How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm not ready.
Mr. Clark, I love that right there, boy. I like that, man. That was tight right there, dog. Like the young boy said, dog. I like that, man. It's a hell of a situation to be in, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I got to put a butt on it, though. Glad it ain't me. Mr. Clark, you are supposed to be one of the smaller individuals, young Mr. Craig over there.
Yeah, what's up?
Mr. Craig, how you doing, brother, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Okay. You were talking about the gummy bears earlier. And I'm just trying to figure out the state of Alabama still, y'all. Didn't they pass still pissing around with this law about the legalization of drugs, marijuana, and all that stuff?
The medical marijuana commission and all that. I think they're still in arbitration.
Yeah, it's still tied up in the courts.
Yep.
Still, I use a chosen word, pissing. They're still pissing around with that. Okay, but at the same time, this stuff been out here for over 20 years, almost, haven't it?
No, this is 2018 is when it becomes legal after the.
But it's been out there though. It's been out there.
Oh yeah, marijuana itself. Yeah, it's been out there for decades.
You can get it. Yeah. I'm talking about the gummy bears. The gummy bear stuff been around for a while, way before they kind of legalized. But okay, so I'm trying to compare two things at one time. I'm trying to be you, Clark, for one minute. You made me jealous, boy. Okay. We arguing about the marijuana bill. People need it for their kids and all that, but we want to tax this thing because somebody's child might go in the store and get some of this stuff that may get them high. Then we got a basketball game on TV showing the Auburn game, the Final Eight or one of them. Anyway, the game was in somewhere where it had a big old, I think it was in Auburn, where it had a big old picture of Wind Creek advertising across the damn TV screen. At the ball game. Everybody in the nation saw this, okay? If we wanted to see basketball. But they telling the other shops that come around town they want to bust them up and shut them down. But hell, Wind Creek could be on the national TV at a basketball game. I guess they wanted to sponsor that Auburn or something. And, you know, even it's the fair, they at the fair, hanging out at the fair, and they're all kind of events.
Right, the Porch Creek Indians have plenty of money to buy those efforts.
They got some money.
But the state of Alabama wants to shut down other folks and saying that y'all shouldn't gamble and these preachers come on and say, we want to look out for the poor. But how many times they posted up at the bingo places, at the Indian facilities that said, y'all stay out of here wasting your money. God loves you. How many times y'all seen
Dude, they fought that, just the one in Wetumpka, they fought for, 20 years. They just finally gave up.
What's about now?
I think they just finally gave up. The court's kind of been settled on that. It's Indian land. Ain't nothing they can do about it.
I know that, but what I'm saying, I'm talking about gambling now, right now, Mr. Eddie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We have some of the people on the committee that saying the reason that they're not for it is because poor people are getting taken advantage of.
Oh, they're full of crap.
But those are the one I'm talking about. That these same individuals, you don't see them on TV posted up at any of these locations, telling people to stay away. In other words, they're hypocrites.
Hypocrites. You can't sling a dead cat around here without hitting a hypocrite.
Oh, maybe they
Alabama.
got paid. Maybe they got paid off or something, or something like that.
Well, here's a thought experiment for you, Duke. If nobody was a hypocrite, will we even need government?
Boy, you said something, Joe. Glove. What you say about that, Mr. Craig? But Craig, they're all hypocrites. Those that say they don't want gambling in the state of Alabama. But hell, somebody down there right now on Dozier Road gambling. Go down there and pray for them, the ones that took that money from somebody to not vote for the bill. He's trying to act like we're stupid, don't know what the hell went on. It ain't about these people's soul. It's about the money in your pocket and how much it can hold.
No, Duke, the reason they won't fully legalize things, say like a lottery, is because the status quo is in that legal gray area where you not only have the Porch Creek Indians, you also have a few other, say, bingo halls, electronic bingo places, with local, say, county-wide amendments that have been operating for a while, too. And so unless the deal is sweet enough to change the status quo, a lot of these folks are at odds with each other. To where you even have some of the, say, electronic bingo hall people teaming up with the hardcore folks that don't want any gambling and would love to see the Porch Creek even shut down. So it's a bucket of crabs. It's almost a perfect equilibrium at this point.
You think it's a 50-50 split here in Alabama? You think that vote's a 50-50 split here in Alabama?
It's pretty close, I bet.
Yeah.
If it was just straight up lottery, I think that'd pass.
They're
They're never going to do
right. It's all the attachments.
Right.
Then what pissed me off, Mr. Joe, I was watching the tube last night, the news, and they showed a big old picture where the head of the Indian creeped on up to Birmingham and bought them a nice place up there that Mr. McGregor used to own.
Of course.
This man, y'all put this man out of here, and hell, I don't know,
Of course.
But he died. This man left here, and y'all done bought this damn place now.
Yeah.
But it's just they're gonna name it a gaming center, though.
Duke, I hear your frustrations, but I'm out of time. I got to hit this top of the hour break.
Now, people misunderstand me taking a week when I express myself about race or anything else that I'm being weak. Y'all think I'm a weak kind of man.
No.
Well, sometimes
I think you're a pot stirrer.
Sometimes I think you could lift more. Sometimes, weight room. Sometimes, not today. Today, it's it sounds like you've been lifting.
I do that on purpose just to be light sometimes. I don't want to
okay. You just like to feign weakness. All right.
You know, Rush Limbaugh used to say just half my brain behind my what? All right.
Later, Duke.
See you, Duke.
Appreciate it. I hear his frustration, but it is. It's an interesting status quo with gaming or gambling, whatever you want to call it here.
Why'd they get to do it and they closed down the white man?
Yeah, for instance, you just did like a lottery, or you just did sports betting. Like you could go on DraftKings and bet all you want and take your winnings, and the state gets a cut from the tax or whatever.
You know they'd get a good cut too.
But I think that passes all day, every day. But everything's got to be packaged together, because if you move in this direction, then the Porch Creek might move in a certain direction. The other players don't get what they.
So it's best just to do nothing and sit on our hands.
No, we've been trying. And it came out.
They've been trying to screw us. What they've been trying.
No, seriously, they've been trying to cut through the Gordian knot of this status quo, this legal limbo bimbo, like this just purgatory we're in. There have been people who have been trying. Like Greg Albritton was trying this year. You had Blackshear from the House last year. They tried. They got close, but not quite close enough. And so you're like, all right. Again, it's almost a perfect equilibrium of converging and different interests that make sure none of these big gaming packages actually pass.
I think there's some out-of-state interest in that too, Joey.
Oh, of course. Right. And the Senate Pro Tem, Garland Gudger, or is he Pro Tem or is he leader? I don't know. Garland Gudger, he's the leader there in the Senate. He said, yeah, we don't have the votes. And we only got 12 days left, working days. Like, we're not going to do this huge package. But apparently Albritton does have a bill out. So
we'll see.
We'll see. I don't think the odds are.
Let's go play some craps, baby.
You like craps?
No, I suck at that.
Yeah, and too much math.
No, it's not that at all. It's just I have that inner loser thing that just comes out. So
inner loser thing.
Yeah, I can't win at gambling. God taught me a lesson a long time ago. You work too hard for your money to try to gamble it away. So
whereas your buddy is the luckiest fella on the face of the earth.
last year. 200. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Part-time.
I'm going to hit a break. That's pissing me off.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A severe tornado outbreak that began midweek has continued to make its way through the South and Midwest, claiming now at least 7 lives, 5 in Tennessee, 1 in Indiana, and 1 in Missouri. Multiple destructive tornadoes, some potentially rated EF3 or stronger, have destroyed homes and knocked out power, with dozens of injuries reported. Britain and France have accused Russian President Vladimir Putin of dragging his feet over Ukraine ceasefire talks and ramped up pressure on Moscow by insisting that he owes the United States an immediate answer. Russia has effectively rejected the U.S. proposal for a full and immediate 30-day halt in the fighting. The Kremlin said that Moscow views efforts to end its more than 3-year war with Ukraine as a drawn-out process. This is SRN News.
Financing a home, especially in today's market, is one of the biggest decisions you'll make for your family. Work with a mortgage company that puts you first. I do. Work with a lender founded on biblical principles like do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. I do. It's Mike Gallagher for the only mortgage company I've used for almost a decade now when financing or refinancing Fellowship Home Loans. I'm friends with the owners, Mike and Brian. I even have them on my show occasionally. I know the care their team puts into every single customer. I can personally tell you that it's a smooth, stress-free process, and that's due to Fellowship's level of service and expertise that puts you in the right loan for your family and your goals. There's a reason Fellowship Home Loans is flooded with 5-star reviews. Whether purchasing a home or a cash-out refi to consolidate some higher interest debt, you can trust Fellowship Home Loans. Start the process. Make the call. 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Our string of record-breaking warmth and storm-free days continues for now. Breezy today and incredibly warm for April with a high temperature of 88 to 90. That would break another record. Breezy with southeast winds gusting to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 66. Tomorrow, windy, a dry day, sun and cloud mix. High temperature up to about 89. Dry through the evening hours Saturday night, but overnight and towards Sunday dawn, showers and storms move in. We've got a severe weather threat on Sunday, including damaging winds and a tornado threat. We'll watch it for you from the National Tropical Weather Conference, South Padre Island, Texas. Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
At Guardian Credit Union, if it's important to you, it's important to us. We don't do banking differently. We do relationships differently. Want to secure a HELOC for home projects? So do we. Want to build your credit? So do we. Want to plan your next vacation? So do we. We're here to help with whatever's next, because whatever you want in life, so do we. Stop by any of our branches and let's plan your next step together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS 912757.
Hi there. I'm Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. Getting pre-approved is the first step towards home ownership. People are often scared or nervous about taking that first step, but I'll tell you, it's nothing to be scared of. At Alabama Home Mortgage, we will take the first step and every step along the way with you. Call us at 567-4223. We will gather the information needed to tell you exactly what you qualify for. After a call to Alabama Home Mortgage, you will know what price point to shop for, what down payment is required, if any, and what your monthly mortgage payment will look like. We take all the guessing out of it. Then, when you find the house you want to make your home, you are ready to make an offer. Along with your offer, you will submit your Alabama Home Mortgage pre-approval letter. This shows sellers that you've already taken the steps necessary to ensure that you qualify to purchase their home. Wait no longer. It's time to take that first step together. Call me at 567-4223 or start the process online at myalabamahomemortgage.com.
That's Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because the Prattville Spring Sale is your opportunity to revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available, including Mohawk, with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Start shopping now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
The 21st Annual Autism Crawfish Boil, benefiting Easter Seals of Central Alabama, is April 5th at Riverwalk Stadium. Proceeds from this fun family event benefit autism programs at Easter Seals of Central Alabama. Enjoy all-you-can-eat crawfish, live music, and even a baseball game. The Autism Crawfish Boil, April 5th at Riverwalk Stadium. Stay and eat or grab them and go. Scan or visit mudbugball.com to purchase tickets and get info on curbside pickup.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. What was that sound? Let's go right to the phones. Got plenty of them rolling in here.
Yeah, we do.
Friday. Let's go to Michael. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, Joey, how are you today?
All right.
Hey, I wanted to weigh in on this Indian gaming thing. Okay?
Sure.
It's real quick. From 1995 and 1998, I was the Planning and Economic Development Specialist for the Alabama Indian Affairs Commission.
Okay.
And I went back in 2000 as the Executive Director of the Alabama Indian Affairs Commission. I don't have, to my knowledge, I don't have a drop of Indian blood in me. Okay. Which kept me, it kept me above the fray as far as, the tribal politics were concerned.
Makes sense.
But what I want to talk about, though, real quick, like I said, there's such thing as the Indian Gaming Act, I think 1978 or 1980, 19 something or other, because I've been out down there for like 20 years now. But the Indian Gaming Act, which is a federal statute, a federal act, requires that the state and the tribes negotiate in good faith to come up with a gaming compact. Okay, it basically lays out what the rules of the game are. No pun intended. And like money cuts and all this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when Eddie Tullis was the chairman, they delivered the compact to Governor Hunt and Jimmy Evans in 1990. Okay, so we're talking 35 years ago, right?
Right.
So 1990, they delivered it up there. In 2001, which was 11 years later, the state had still made no move on it. Somebody said they threw it in a desk drawer somewhere in the AG's office. And they never, so it's like the state was not doing anything in good faith for the Porch Creeks or anybody or any other Indian tribe for that matter. And just to clarify, the Porch Creeks are the only federally recognized Indian tribe in the state of Alabama. Okay,
right.
I'm not going to get into the whole federal and state recognized thing. We don't have time.
Sure.
But my point is, and I'm not, I'm not pro or anti Indian gaming. It doesn't make any difference to me. But my thing is that the feds say that you're required to negotiate in good faith, and the state of Alabama, to my knowledge, has made no effort to do so. So what's the tribe left to do but go on and do its own thing? Now, I know you all may not agree with me, or you may disagree with me, or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is, when there's a framework in place to do what the Porch Creeks are doing, and the state of Alabama is just ignoring it, then, who's in the right and who's in the wrong?
Well, and I think you're making a lot of good points, and based on my understanding, and I also just grokked the Indian Gaming Act, and I think what's happening is we're sort of stuck in limbo around Class 2, and the compact is required, approved by the Department of Interior for Class 3, and
correct.
I think right now the interests of the Porch Creek, along with the other players in the state who have Class 2, they're making enough money to where if we're going to go to the Class 3 compact thing, it's got to be a sweet enough deal. It's got to make sense. And so you asked a good question, who's to blame here by not actually engaging in this compact, given it's been on the table for decades now. At this point, I think I'm pretty agnostic too. I enjoy making the point that I just don't think it's going to happen. It's almost like a perfect equilibrium where people are making enough money with the status quo that they won't change, even though they've gotten close. It's only been one vote off the last session. So I don't know. It's long been a mess to where, say, if the state legalized sports betting, which I know a lot of people in the state would want to do, does that immediately have to trigger a compact Class 3 negotiation with the Porch Creek? And that's where I'm not a lawyer and I don't pretend to be one. But
I don't either. I'm not, and I don't either. Okay. So, like I said, I'm not, it doesn't matter to me at this point in my life. I'm 67 years old.
Right.
Okay. At this point in my life, I could care less. All right. But but I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that, everybody's got a role in this, and everybody, should do what they're supposed to do and hold up their end of the bargain. And, from where I sit or where I sat once upon a time, the state was just totally ignoring. So the first time and the last time I've been up there to the operation on Dozier Road, it was 2 double-wide trailers.
Yep.
Okay. And the one in Wetumpka wasn't even in existence. So, I've been, like I said, I left working for the state in 2004. So, that's 21 years ago, and I know a lot of things have changed. But, you always have to have a little bit of historical perspective, or no matter what it is that you're doing. Because otherwise, if you're coming from the tribes, from a tribal perspective, you can vilify the state. Coming from the state perspective, you can vilify the tribe. So, it's like you said,
Well, and I think if you have to examine, I just got to like vilifying all of them. If you look at the state side, though, I think it's a combination of people that want to get their cut for certain established interest, and then a bunch of interests that just don't want any gambling or gaming at all. They don't want to see any expansion. And that creates an odd dynamic, or even those two interests that seem so at odds in principle sometimes work together because the deal's too sweet for the Indians. It's just, it's a mess. It's such a mess.
And on the big, the bigger picture is you look at all of the money that comes from Mississippi to defeat gaming in Alabama.
Yep.
Because they're protecting their own. Arkansas does the same thing in Mississippi. They put all this money into Mississippi to keep the gaming in Mississippi. It's ridiculous. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think it's happening this session, even though Albritton just rolled something out, but Gudgers seem to be pouring a bunch of cold water on top of that.
So what I saw on, I think it was Channel 8 yesterday, he said it was too little, it was too much, too little, too late.
Right.
With what, seven days, and they still got both budgets to go through and everything else.
Right.
But anyways, I just want to throw that in there and, tell you all have a great weekend. And I always appreciate your show, man.
Oh, and I appreciate your call and appreciate you listening. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, thank you. All right.
Yeah, that was a good call. It's good to get the perspective, especially the players that have been in it from one side or whatever perspective. I've met a few.
But it's funny.
And it's interesting.
How long ago he said it? They were double wides. I remember that. I remember that. I remember in Wetumpka where they had built this big parking lot in the state of Alabama saying, you're not building a casino. And they're like, okay, what's this triple-decker parking lot you're building over there? That's going to be for something. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry.
Let's go to Howard Dean. Hey, Howard Dean.
Joey. Hey.
How you doing, bud?
Craig.
Hey, what's up, homie?
Doing,
I'm doing good. How about you?
Brothers, All right. Oh man, I'm fabulous. Now I'm going to take the gambling to a whole another level, and I'm going to lighten the mood, which I always do. So anyhow, since the day we were born, we've been gambling, right?
Yep.
I mean, we've been gambling. We've been playing the game of craps. It could be a solid, it could be a gas, or it could be liquid.
Especially when you get over 40.
Yeah, the risk profile goes up over time.
That's the homeboy last caller said he was 57, so he knows what I was talking about.
Exactly.
Once you hit 50, and I'm 53 now, and man, you just never know.
You don't
wake up
trust.
in the middle of the night scared.
You just don't trust anymore.
Well, and a lot of folks sped up that timeline when they went keto. They're like, oh no.
But see, what the problem with keto is that they didn't even know it was coming. There was no rumbling in the gut. It's not like, lactose intolerance.
No, it just...
We know when it started to run down the pipes, it's gurgle.
It's like, how did it happen? Well, kind of like Pearl Harbor, actually, out of the clear blue sky.
Bubble.
Yeah.
You're so crazy. It's because all that spam that they shipped over there. I love you guys, man. You good. Just keep it rolling, man, and have a happy Friday. God bless. Don't let them storms get you and anything.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Howard.
Great call.
I like Howard. I like his brother Jimmy better though.
Jimmy Dean.
Oh yeah,
makes a great sausage.
Some good Jimmy Dean sausage.
Do you remember that very famous complaint voicemail that was left?
No.
Oh, dude, there was some like big. You could just tell he was fat and a redneck from his voice. When someone's so fat, you can tell how fat they are by hearing their voice.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they raised the prices of their like package of sausage.
Oh.
And he left this very long voicemail, and he was none too pleased.
Did he curse in it?
No. He's just
He's just upset.
I gotta have my, I don't want to buy the big thing of sausage. It was just hilarious. So sorry. Anywho, that was a bit of a tangent, but Jimmy Dean's good.
No, I kind of want to find that. If it's actually out there, I'll work on it in a break.
2.4 million views. Holy moly.
That might be the one you're talking about.
I think it is.
Hold on. Let's see if this is. YouTube always seems to hold things up when I open it. But let's try this real quick. Make sure to share it on the screen. No, wrong one. Dadgummit. Here we go. Let's listen in. This is glorious. It's got more. This is glorious. Thank you, Craig. I had to dump it there for folks in Radio Land because he drops a GD.
He drops a GD. Sorry about that.
I mean, he did it in a very southern way.
Very southern.
That sounded like Stone Cold. Steve Austin.
4 ounces of sauce? That's 4 slices of sausage missing out of each one of the packages. It kind of builds up over time.
You must live a very comfortable life if you have time to take minutes out of your day to make this phone call to the Jimmy Dean sausage
some
company.
of them old fart factory workers that kind of thing just appeals.
I got to back this thing up again. Let's hear the beginning at least.
Randy Taylor.
You're right about how he's a big fella.
Yeah, he's a big fella.
I don't know where you people come from. I don't know if you test your products, your quantity of your product. Your products are very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage, but you don't have it anymore. You've got a 12-ounce roll, and you've got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump Scotch girl, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and a couple of dozen eggs and feed that. It ain't going to work.
Sir, you got to buy 2.
Dude, you just got to buy 2.
Yeah, you got a big family there. You need to buy 2 packages.
And he's talking about like you're having eggs, sausage, and T-bone steak for breakfast. I don't think you're hurting for cash, dog. Like, what's the problem?
I know.
A T-bone steak for breakfast? That's rich people stuff.
Well, I have to say, I am hungry now.
Yeah.
Good thing is this part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
They bringing some by?
Oh,
that would be so special.
Ooh, one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
Get some ribs.
Yes.
Get some brisket. Get some pulled pork sandwiches.
Oof, I'm down.
Ooh, get some fixins like fried okra, mac and cheese.
Get my attention there.
It's all so good. And we often, when we talk about their menu, we forget their desserts. You shouldn't forget their desserts. For instance, they have a meat and 3 daily lunch special.
Yep.
Things like fried pork chops, southern fried chicken, grilled pork chops, country fried steak, hamburger steak, fried catfish.
Hamburger steak.
But don't forget dessert. We forget too often. Banana pudding.
Oh, yeah. That's a gimme. That's going to be a gimme.
Peach cobbler.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, blackberry cobbler. I like that.
Wow,
I like the tartness
that
of that. And then all sorts of different types of pie and cake slices, depending on the day. That changes. That gum. I could eat all of this.
Yeah.
Like get some cheese curds. They've got that as an appetizer.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Some fried green tomatoes.
Love fried green tomatoes.
Corn nuggets.
I
love some corn nuggets.
Good corn nugget is all right. And then don't forget, folks, Tuesday through Sunday, they have an in-house breakfast. So you can get whatever you desire when it comes to a down-home breakfast. In fact, even that guy saying, I've loved your sausage for 30 years. I'm sure you could take that man to Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. And even though he's from Texas, he'd enjoy that Alabama
no doubt.
breakfast. And, of course, biscuits and gravy, breakfast bowls, burritos, omelets, steak and eggs straight up, custom-made biscuits. And, of course, you can get the Fat Boy sampler if you can't decide. You can try everything. It's called the Fat Boy's Breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good eating. Y'all stop by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue today. Same location they've always been, Main Street there in Millbrook. And be sure to tell them that Joey, Nettie, and Craig, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
I'll see if I can do that.
Hello? Anybody there?
Guten Tag.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Let's just listen in. Let's see what his life is up to.
No, I'm not. That could be dangerous, Craig. It could be real dangerous.
You could witness a murder live on the radio.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, thank you.
We don't want that at all. Now, I want to go to this. I guess it's political, but not really. This could happen to anybody.
Oh.
And so even if you're not in a public position, like a prominent public position at the local level, this is still a problem. I think this applies to everybody. So you could be, just average Joe. And you need to be careful. There's a lesson here for everybody, from presidents to senators to mayors to the average Joe and Jane. Number 1, keep your pants on and don't film yourself doing it. I think that's the lesson.
Just a lesson in that.
But here is a local story. I believe this is out of, where is this? North Dakota. Let's just listen in together.
In with a major shakeup in leadership in the city of Minot. Tom Ross resigning as mayor of Minot today. It comes after the release of a report on an investigation into Ross's conduct. Kiona Rivera covered a special city council meeting this afternoon with more. Kiona?
Good evening, Joe. According to the investigative report, City Attorney Stephanie Stahlheim filed a formal harassment complaint on January 28th against Ross. The report states Stahlheim received a sexually explicit video over text 2 weeks prior. According to the report, when interviewed about the incident, Ross confirmed it was him in the video and he had recorded the video during his lunch break prior to sending it to Stahlheim. The reporter-writer says Ross intended to send it to his romantic partner, whose name begins with C, but mistakenly sent it to the contact city attorney. At this afternoon's special meeting, the council accepted the findings of the report. A few council members also spoke on the challenges the city has faced in the past few months.
The city's been through an awful lot. City organization, city staff, just the the people of our city have been through a lot.
The well-being of our city, as Norman Blessum said, has been on shaky ground more often than we care to admit over the last few years and months.
Wait. This serious, like the tone of those folks there. What happened is the mayor on his lunch break filmed himself spanking his own monkey, and instead of sending it to his girlfriend, sent it to the city attorney by accident.
Was it on the city-owned phone?
I think he probably just has a phone.
Right. I mean, mistakes happen.
Oh my God, let's keep going here.
We've been faced with challenges that most cities never have to endure. Today, I sit
That's a
before
new
you
one.
with heart overcome by sadness and disappointment as we face yet another moment of poor leadership in our city's history.
We also reached out directly to Ross for a statement on today's developments. He said he takes responsibility for the mistake and said he will always have respect for Stahlheim. The decision I made falls in line with all my work on behalf of the city of Minot. I put my heart and soul into this community. My stepping down is one more decision that is best for all of Minot. We'll have this full statement on our website. Ross has served as Minot's mayor since 2022 and was on the council 2 years before that. As for the city moving forward, Council President Mark Janser will fulfill financial duties of the office but would not be the mayor. Blessum proposed the council appoint one of their own to fulfill the remaining term, but a special election could be held.
So why y'all gotta hold a special election for mayor? This Mayor Ross wouldn't stop beating his meat on the lunch.
What if the roles
I said election.
What if the roles had been reversed? Would she have lost the job?
Well, honestly, probably a dude would have just kept it, would have told her, hey, you sent this to the wrong person, and then never spoke of it again.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was going.
Because there is something less, I'm sorry, like, I'm not an egalitarian. There's something inherently different.
Yes.
About men and women. There's something slightly, not threatening, maybe just menacing is a good word.
Okay, but still, like, ladies, if you're out there listening, hear me out. Or actually help me here. Like, if you saw the picture of the mayor.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, hold on. Let me back up, see if I can find an actual picture. Yeah, there's a picture of him.
He ain't going to look no better without clothes, I can tell you that.
And, you know, let's pull that up on the screen there for folks to see. So you see that, the picture of that guy.
Yeah.
However, whatever angle he chose.
It's not a good one.
A guy like that sends you a video of him macerating his strawberries, and is it really that threatening, or is it more just sad?
It's gross.
It's definitely gross. It's definitely gross. Like I don't understand how delusional you have to be to think that anybody wants to see that, especially when you look like him. Like I have a literal 6-pack, and I wouldn't be caught dead doing this because that's just weird and gross. And
dudes are gross. I mean, you know, they were all dudes. Dudes
oh
are
my
gross.
gosh, dude! Growing up, like in the smartphone generation, there's got to be one or two things out there that could really sink me. Like I have no idea, but I don't know what kids get up to these days. Like I don't know how they're safe.
Yes, I don't either, because we missed it. We would have been recording so much. Yeah, none of us could ever do anything. Glad I missed it.
Yeah.
Glad I missed it.
No, but instead of like resigning, we got to do a special election. Everybody's talking like they're in a hostage video. Why not like just have a town roast?
Yeah.
Like you have to sit up here.
You have to watch the video. We all watch the video. And we make fun of you.
We all watch the video and then pass judgment.
Why do you look like you're trying to make mozzarella? Why are you out of breath? You're just in a car.
But think about his poor girlfriend, because everybody knows who that is too.
And that she was, I mean,
and that's the one he was going to send the video.
I mean, was this unsolicited or did she request it?
There's no way she requested it. And even if she did, she was being nice.
No kink shaming, guys. No,
it can be requested.
I know it can be, but like,
yeah, but you're a schmuck if you do it.
Who's requesting that from that guy? He's rather rotund.
Well, if I was going to blackmail him, sure. But
this is true. It's just like nobody wants to. Why recording yourself bag whacking? Just it doesn't.
Plus, why don't your phone have an automatic filter where it just goes gross and shuts off?
Yeah, I feel like I would be more careful. I would be more careful in that situation than Mike Waltz should have been. Yeah. So much more careful.
Yeah, another good point.
I just double check.
Just hearing the report though, and what it's all about. I'm like, this is Like, did somebody die? Did the
Pee Wee Herman thing all over again.
But see, who does that? It's like
that's another thing. Hey, it's lunch.
Well, no, he
got a date.
No, I mean
with
like
myself.
just the logistics of how he sent the video. So he had to have taken the video. It was saved in his camera roll. He went and selected the video and said share messages and typed in this person's thing. No, you go to the chat bubble and you avoid all of these problems. You just go to the chat that you're supposed to be in, you shoot the video over. This he deserves this. He really does.
Sad.
Poor. Oh my gosh, how embarrassed. Ugh,
What
that
a
would be
poor
so bad.
devil. Poor devil.
At least he's an older fella. He can kind of go away with the sunset. Imagine if he was a younger guy and you got to just stick around with that for the next 30, 40 years.
You said stick around with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he was a little, you know what? Honestly, if he was a little hotter, the city attorney might have had a less extreme.
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder what the dynamic was. Do they know each other? Was she again?
Well, of course they know each other.
She's the city
mayor.
attorney.
Right, but to the point of she didn't say, "Hey, dummy, you sent this." She went, "Oh my God, I'm offended. I'm getting you fired."
Plus, I also think as a man that age with a girlfriend,
yeah,
like if you're a married man and you're mayor, well, your wife doesn't want to see that.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Honestly, Eddie, when's the last time? Seriously, ever?
At a certain time in life, you turn the lights off.
Well,
Really?
I mean, what do I need to shoot you a video for? I'm gonna see you tonight. Like,
when I was younger, I could see the hotness and the spontaneity of it, but now it's just gross. It's really gross.
Number one, he's 50. Number two,
Yeah,
what the
I
heck
think-
is spontaneity?
I
That
think
spontaneity, not from the guy's point of view, because I can't ever imagine going, "I'm fixing to send you a surprise video."
I kind of think the bottom line here is he kind of wanted to be caught.
Do you think he was maybe like that was him shooting a shot, like so he could always pretend
yes.
it was an accident?
Yeah.
Everyone's done something like that before.
Or no, maybe he's into the shame, the public
Yeah.
shame.
Shame.
He's
Shame.
like Paul Giamatti in Billions.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, I think I feel like I need a shower after that. That's just
Oh, is that
gross.
right?
You gonna
Yeah,
film
it's
it?
just
That much for
gross.
you, huh?
Just make sure you don't send it to the city attorney.
No, it's the
please.
opposite thing. It's like we've been working all day, and it's like I need to wash this grime off. Yeah,
I hear you.
I honestly,
Wanna take the
I
Turkish
just want,
bath?
I want to know. I want to see the video for only the reason I want to see what the setup was. Like, did you set it up on your dash cam, on your
well, and it's at a
dashboard?
lunch break. So is this like in your office?
Probably at his desk.
It's pretty
Where he's pretty
impressive.
comfortable.
Though. At his desk, you think?
I would think so. Lock the door.
See, that's pressure though too. So you
Yeah,
gotta.
but you're seeing those like pasty white legs and stuff too. Like,
I'm not seeing any of that, but maybe that's what his chick's into.
What do you think? Do you think he took the shirt completely off, or just kind of tucked it over his chin like a 3-year-old?
or does he have a tripod set up across the room, or is it
I'm
like
not-
is he holding it like from
Who knows
like,
the
his point of
production
view?
value he's got
Is he
going on?
overhand? Is he an overhand, underhand?
Does he have like lighting set up, like lighting?
What's the trimming like down there? Is it
Right.
rainforest situation? Like these are questions that the people deserve answers.
He does have a well manicured beard.
He did, and he has a good head of hair too.
No, I didn't see a good. No, he's
No,
kind of.
he's kind
I
of
was being
chrome dominant.
sarcastic.
Oh
Joey.
God, I'm just. This has got me
literal
old.
Joseph, literal Joseph. But like, have you ever done anything close to that? Like, sent something inappropriate to someone that you didn't mean to?
I
That
have,
I
but
didn't
not of
mean
me.
to? No.
I have, yeah, but not of me.
I've only
Yeah.
sent something that inappropriate that I meant to.
Yeah.
Once, and it was calling somebody's bluff.
Oh.
After it was years of send me this, send me this, send me that, and I'm like, I'm tired of the joke. I'm sending it.
If I ever did, it wouldn't be mine.
Oh, by the way, could I interest you gentlemen in some spotted dick sponge pudding?
No thanks. But what does that taste like?
I don't know.
Spotted dick
Have
is
you ever
actually
heard it?
not bad. I've never had it in a
yeah.
can.
I
Yeah,
just never had it.
Heinz spotted dick sponge
Is
pudding.
it like a dessert?
Yeah,
Oh, it says microwavable right there.
It's got like raisins in it. It's like
Ooh,
it's
that's
like
probably
it's
the
like,
spots.
Yeah, it's like raisin bread.
Yeah,
Essentially.
water,
It's-
sugar,
okay.
wheat flour, raisins.
Yeah, it's just like raisin bread. It's not bad. It's of course when it's not canned. I've never had it in a can.
Yeah, and
Canned
this
bread sounds
this
like garbage.
can we've had it. This has been here longer than I've been working.
Yeah,
here.
it's probably found in the kitchen, is my guess.
No, this was upstairs.
Oh,
I remember, oh, and you can
oh,
hear the sponge.
yeah. I wonder if it's dry.
British people get a lot of crap for their food. Their food is actually really good.
They eat baked beans at breakfast.
Yeah, but you put it on toast and baked beans.
Yeah, even worse.
But see, their breakfast also has like bacon and sausage, so it makes sense.
I did a little spoonful in Jamaica because I do it for the Brits, and I couldn't do the baked beans at breakfast.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not even talking about just their breakfast because their sausages are good. Their snacks, the Brits have the best potato chips of anyone.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, we had an international store in China, and I had a couple Brits, and we'd go in there. They'd want to get some of their snacks. I had plenty of them. I wanted some American snacks, but I also had plenty of the British snacks. They had like their salt and vinegar chips are better than anything you get in the States.
You don't call them crisp?
No, I'm not,
I'm so glad you don't.
After 1776, I decided, hey, I don't have to care what those people
I just love people like that.
But fish and chips with some vinegar, oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, so
But all that
apparently
batter,
this
that heavy batter.
This only takes 2 minutes in a nice full-powered microwave. And the expiration is October of 2010. This has been around here. Again, that is the sponge of the bread pudding of the spotted dick in the.
You keep shaking that. Jay's getting excited over there.
I'll eat it for attention.
I'm about to say, let's put that down.
I'll take a bite. I'll do it for attention.
And I'm sorry to everybody on the stream. I don't mean to be like a mayor in North Dakota.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. An investigation is underway after a man was shot and killed Thursday afternoon in Montgomery. MPD responded to Gatsby Drive just after 5 p.m., where the unidentified victim was pronounced dead at the scene from a fatal gunshot wound. No further information has been released in the ongoing investigation. A suspect is in custody after a high-speed chase Wednesday night that began in Tallahassee and ended up more than 20 miles away. 35-year-old Jason Downs refused to stop for police and hit 2 separate patrol cars before eventually crashing on Rifle Range Road near Emerald Mountain Expressway. Downs was arrested and taken into custody on multiple charges. The NCAA men's college basketball tournament resumes tomorrow as the overall #1 seed Auburn Tigers take on Florida in the Final Four. The West Region champion Gators are a 2.5-point favorite over the Tigers in the showdown of SEC powerhouses. Tip-off from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio is set for 5:09 p.m. Saturday. The winner will advance to the national championship game on Monday night. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Spring is almost here. Stay cool with a spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Our string of record-breaking warmth and storm-free days continues for now. Breezy today and incredibly warm for April with a high temperature of 88 to 90. That would break another record. Breezy with southeast winds gusting to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 66. Tomorrow, windy, a dry day, sun and cloud mix. High temperature up to about 89. Dry through the evening hours Saturday night, but overnight and towards Sunday dawn, showers and storms move in. We've got a severe weather threat on Sunday, including damaging wind and a tornado threat. We'll watch it for you from the National Tropical Weather Conference, South Padre Island, Texas. Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This is part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors. Normally we talk to Austin Branco, but I think he is very, very busy today, as is everybody there at Invista Advisors, given everything happening in the markets here in this country. But with Invista Advisors, it's not just about your investment portfolio. That can be part of an overall strategy, but that's only one part of the strategy. Depending on where you are in life, they're ready to create a full financial plan to plan out your financial future, preserve your wealth long term. Could be you're a small business owner. Most of your wealth is tied up in your business. You're hitting near retirement age, or you just don't want to do this forever and you don't have options. Well, they can help you out and say getting out of that small business without losing that wealth you've built up within it. Or maybe you run a nonprofit or endowment. They can help you there. It could be you just have a nice estate. You are trying to plan ahead for life insurance reasons or end-of-life reason. They can help you across the board there at Invista Advisors. And, of course, they do help you with that stock portfolio. Y'all check them out today. Start the conversation today at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey sent you when you ask for Austin Baranko. Let's go to Steve. Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, I've got a question, and I've got, well, actually two questions and a comment.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Trump on tape I saw on Fox last night, I mentioned this to Greg this morning, said they discovered something significant recently. I had the impression yesterday, and they'd be released. It's evidently something not good for probably some of these people stealing, is what I think. Some of these Congress people. Have y'all heard anything yet?
I have not seen or heard anything big and breaking, so it's like it's dirty details on members of Congress that Trump and team have discovered.
I believe so. I saw the same headline on Fox this morning,
but
I
no
didn't see
details
anything behind it.
Okay. Yeah, I've not seen anything that promise delivered yet, Steve.
I'm not seeing any promise.
Sorry. And with all these people on the inside saying Biden wasn't in control, they knew about it. Seems like to me that they would be in some trouble too because they knew about it and they're coming out and saying something about it now. I mean, the election was definitely stolen. There needs to be some consequences to all this. And last thing I had was on a state level, and probably ought to be on a national level. Seems like to me like the legislature ought to be enacting something to stop people from committing home title fraud. A allowing you to freeze your home title and mortgages just like your credit, because they make it out of public records, put it out there online. So, I mean, it seems like maybe I'll be helping people. You shouldn't have to purchase identity theft protection.
Oh, that's an interesting topic. I hadn't thought that one fully through, because they are now digital records. And if they get out there, should there not be not just private protection, but actual legal protection at the state and national level? I think you bring up a good topic. I'm not sure how to solve that, though.
Thank you, Joey.
Appreciate it, Steve. Yeah, and when it comes to the 2020 election, I mean, if you find some people dead to rights, that's one thing. But I think the biggest win is you continue to change the laws that were abused, and particularly places like Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah. You know, I was sorry. This is sort of a sidebar, but you were talking about Austin not being able to get a hold of him. It immediately dawned on me how many panicky Pete's he's probably having to deal with today.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But they're definitely, the news is doing its work, trying to freak people out. But honestly, if you're working with Invista, I think you're going to be in the right spot. They called this. They saw a lot of this coming. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Now, it made me very happy as I'm getting ready for the show. I was here early. I was here an hour early. As I'm doing that, the Fram2 crew, the astronauts, private civilians, this is a first private flight over the poles. And I believe the first flight over the poles ever, orbiting the poles. Some pretty amazing shots and video, but is it just me, or does that never really get old? Sky and I were watching it, the splashdown live. To me, that never gets old.
It's so crazy.
And the footage of it only keeps getting better and better with how they have cameras embedded in the bay that has the parachutes. So you can see the chutes release, and it's just,
it's cool.
And you have these great shots, and I could pull it up, but I'll just describe it. The crew were apparently listening to music on the ride back in through the Earth's atmosphere, and you can hear them like they're making a beat on the actual console as they're coming down, like kind of enjoying themselves. I'm like, okay, this is fantastic.
Pretty cool.
And the fact that these are not like, the ones that were both saved recently by SpaceX were former naval test pilots. I mean, these are some badasses. These are more explorers, scientists, and they went through intensive training for certain, but it's gotten to the point where these things almost fly themselves. And I think one of the main things they wanted to do is take the first X-rays ever in space to see the effects on X-ray machinery and whatnot. Pretty fascinating. Maybe effects on themselves just a few days up there in orbit. And the shots of the poles are something to behold, though. I mean, it's kind of what you suspect, especially Antarctica. A lot of ice.
Yeah.
It's just, you can see some volcano activity, though, which is crazy in one of the shots where from orbit. And as they got over the Arctic, over the North Pole, they were like, they were calling, like one guy's like, I'm calling my wife, or I'm flying right above you right now. Is that Finland right there? Yeah, and it's cool seeing this now on a regular basis. And again, it doesn't get old watching the rocket launch or seeing these folks up. The cupola that SpaceX has built, it's like you are on a spacewalk. It's pretty amazing what they're able to do. So that never gets old to me. I hope this continues. I hope Elon Musk is not brought down by the powers that be because of his, helping out of Trump and team. I am looking, though, at a headline. European regulators consider a $1 billion fine against Elon Musk because of he won't meet standards when it comes to the X platform there in Europe.
Pull out. Yeah, just needs to pull out.
Have fun collecting.
Yeah, just pull out.
And apparently the European Union is making billions by fining U.S. companies.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think this is it should be part of the larger tariff strategy.
Probably.
Oh, what a mess. Also, we could get into it. I'm not surprised by this, given this guy's past, and I've never been certain of the rebranding, though it's fascinating. And he's always been gifted with words, very funny, very charismatic. But you see Russell Brand charged with rape, sexual assault. Charges stem from incidents 25 years ago.
Yeah, he's kind of been hitting around that was going to come out.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there that big report
Yeah.
that came out from, and he addressed it,
Yep.
but honestly, I'd forgotten that it existed.
Yeah, well, charges have now been filed in British court, and their
Is it
court
civil or criminal?
I think it's criminal.
How can you make a criminal
25? Yeah,
that's rough. That's difficult. I mean, because I remember when Trump had his whole thing, that was civil,
Right.
Because there was a statute of limitations.
right? I don't. All the British court system's all Greek to
Oh
me.
my gosh, it's so bad. Did you watch that the miniseries that came out on Netflix called Adolescence?
Yes, I've seen previews. I haven't watched the miniseries.
Yeah, it was all right. You know, it was a little slow in the middle. The ending is I cried like a girl. But it was so interesting to watch the different dynamic of because it's this arrest. They're arresting a kid that they suspect of murder, and you're watching the judicial and the police system work, and you're like, oh man, it really is completely different over there.
Really is.
You really don't really kind of think about that until you see it.
We got our problems, but God bless America.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, we got to hit this break. First, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim and Madeline, that's Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon, are ready to help you out whether you're looking to purchase a home. They can walk you through that home buying process from pre-approval all the way to closing day. No surprises on closing day.
Right.
They really are great professional folks that are easy to get to know and work with, and they're looking to get you the best possible deal. And that includes with refinance deals. If you're looking to restructure debt, or maybe you're hitting retirement age, or it could be any reason that you're like, you know what? I've built up enough equity in this home. I need to use this to take a next step in life. Could be investing your property yourself, maybe your kids moving off to a different city or moving into college. You want to help them out in some way. Alabama Home Mortgage can help you whatever your goals are when you are looking to do that refinance deal. Just call them up direct at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Playing Eddie's favorite song.
This is the jam.
Now, I almost imagine listening to this floating above the earth.
Yeah. With Celine Dion in the background.
Good.
She's coming out of the clouds, Joey.
You're ruining it.
Oh, Canada.
You're ruining it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go
Good
to
song, though. I like what you did with it.
Let's go to Poison Ivy. How you doing?
Joey, Eddie, and Craig. I was going to tell you, I'm doing pretty good. I was going to tell you that the governor had a little problem with the test going on that was not unlike your sausage guy.
Okay.
She was afraid she wasn't going to get something, and she said, Poison, call over there to the ABC store, and this is going to spell out the exact item that she needed, this acronym, Willie. Y'all bet it. She said, send it that. Here it goes. Citation requesting oversized wholesale numerous reorderings of y'all's affluent liquor. Crown Royal.
Crown
Y'all
Royal,
have
baby.
a great day.
Appreciate it, boys.
This stuff goes down like maple syrup, man.
Mhm. Let's see. This is on line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Michael.
Hey,
Michael. How you doing, buddy?
It's Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances, everybody.
Nice. How you doing?
Pretty good. I was trying to call you a while ago, but he's too busy for me. So
Well, you called me with a different number. My phone just sends you to voicemail.
I keep forgetting all those
You
different
got to be
lines.
consistent.
You're right.
I
You're right.
know.
That's on me, Michael. I will get better. No,
But I'll get it next time.
But what's the score there today at Cohen's?
It's 28-3.
Oh.
It's been a good day. I had a customer the other day. We did a bunch of TVs installed, a lot of Samsungs, I think 5. And she also got a lot of Sonos to go with it. I think 4 sound bars and a couple of subs. And anyway, we got it installed. Everybody's happy. Her husband's out of town. Life is good. And then she calls me this morning. She says, I know that you sold me a 75, but she says, I think my husband really wanted an 85.
Oh.
So anyway, when Michael Jackson gets through today, he's going to swing by the store and pick up an 85 and go swap it out for her to make the husband happy when he gets home.
Well, that'd be a pleasant surprise.
There is a difference.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
right.
a heck of a surprise, too.
That's right. That's right. And she handled it all. I mean, she did a great job.
Awesome.
So,
well,
anyway,
I love hearing that. I love hearing stories of Michael Jackson. I've seen the man at work myself. He's fantastic at what he does. And folks, if you haven't seen these, like the 85-inch TVs in person, or it goes up even more than that, you got to go by Cohen's. At least look at these things in person, as well as all the great products they have there. You can shop from home at thinkcohens.com, but there's nothing like actually stopping by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. All still open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays.
That's correct.
Cool. And I encourage folks to go find you, Michael, and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and Eddie, who keeps slipping. He's slipping.
Yeah, we're just happy he's here.
Yes.
It was close.
Yes.
I think he's conditioned us, Michael, to where it's like, oh, he's here. So that's good enough.
It's a good day.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's all based on our expectations.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
And this way he can exceed them.
Every time.
That's right.
That's right.
Winner, winner.
Well, I hope you have a good weekend, Michael.
Hey, you too. Have a great time.
See you, brother.
Thank you, sir. Well, we got to hit this top of the hour break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. More than 90 million people are at some risk of severe weather in a huge part of the nation, stretching from Texas to Minnesota and Maine. The severe spring storms this week are responsible for at least 7 deaths. An Oklahoma man has been detained in connection with the fatal shooting of a Catholic priest. It happened at a church rectory in northeast Kansas. 66-year-old Gary Hermish of Tulsa is being held in the Nemaha County Jail. It's on suspicion of first-degree murder. For space tourists, they're back on Earth after orbiting over the North and South Poles. Their SpaceX capsule splashed down in the Pacific off the Southern California coast earlier today. Bitcoin investor Chun Wang bought that 3.5-day flight for an undisclosed price. This is SRN News.
Hey, everybody. Charlie Kirk here. As executive director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of two, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I travel a lot, and my schedule changes every week, so I need something simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule, and I quickly lost 30 pounds. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too. They won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation, and see if their program is right for you. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020. The first 11 callers who mention the word healthy will get 2 weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It worked for me. It can work for you. Myphdweightloss.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by MPM Feed and Seed. It's time to get those gardens ready. From seeds to plants to fertilizer, MPM has what you need. Shop MPM Feed and Seed in Prattville, 1313 Highway 31 North. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturdays, 8 to 1.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We have had an incredible string of record-breaking warmth and storm-free days, and it's not quite over yet. Tonight, partly cloudy, very mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 66. Tomorrow, breezy. A dry day tomorrow, and we're dry through the evening hours Saturday night. High temperature up to about 89. Then, close to dawn on Sunday, showers and thunderstorms move in. A severe weather threat Sunday with damaging winds and the threat of tornadoes. We'll keep a close tab on that for you. For now, from the Tropical Weather Conference in South Padre Island, Texas, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
The oldest son of President Trump, Donald Trump Jr., was in Alabama this past Thursday night. He delivered a keynote speech to the Alabama Republican Party. In that speech, Don Jr. praised the Alabama Republicans for their support of his father in the presidential election, which of course was victorious. Don Jr. also urged Republicans to not get complacent following such a victory, but to stay in the game and to get involved in every political race, including that of local dog catcher. Don Jr. emphasized that those with the leftist lunatic ideology are continuing to weaponize the political process every step of the way, and in doing so, destroying lives. He urged conservative Republicans to not sit back or give up, but to fight, fight, fight. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
The Alabama Department of Corrections has graduated 144 new officers following a 10-week training course. This is the largest number of graduates from one class that the ADOC has recorded. ADOC Commissioner John Hamm spoke with WSFA News, saying that the additional officers will enhance the safety and security of the state facilities for all involved, whether it's the public, staff, or inmates.
Retention is our next focus, and the field training officer programs will get them a little bit more advanced, actually show them how to do their job on their post.
I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Is your business feeling the heat of cyber attacks?
Tired of worrying about ransomware, data breaches, downtime, and employee mistakes? GTI Managed IT Solutions has been your trusted partner since 1999, safeguarding and supporting businesses like yours from the ever-evolving threats in the digital world. GTI, your peace of mind is guaranteed. Call us today at 819-4650 or visit gtinow.com.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. Final hour here on a Friday. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. We've got the false crazy story about this freshman at Ole Miss who the story, I remember the day we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was on air. I think it was, I remember sitting over there before we went on air and we were kind of kicking it around going, how crazy that is.
Yeah, could have been.
Because the allegation was that this young girl cheated on her boyfriend with the boyfriend's father.
Correct. They went out to dinner and with the father and the daughter.
Yeah.
And they dropped the daughter off and supposedly things accelerated from there.
So she is now telling her side of the story, saying there's zero truth to it. And yet her life, she says, is ruined by the onslaught online. And when you have the eye of Sauron on you, so to speak, well, that can be unnerving.
Yeah, just a bit.
Let's go to Jimmy, though. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Hi, Joey. Can I go back to the hot sauce topic for just a minute?
You bet.
Sure.
All right. I was looking at something online a couple of days ago, and it was a story about a young high school kid who has cerebral palsy.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher wanted them to write a business plan. So he came up and he had this idea about making pepper sauce. And the teacher gave him a B-. And he's going, why? He said, it's just not feasible. Well, it turns out the boy went into production and the next year sold $5 million worth of hot sauce.
Nice.
And a percentage of his profits are going to cerebral palsy research and helping kids that already have it. And it's called the Crippling Hot Sauce Company. Might Google that and see what comes up. But it's just he's got 5 different flavors right now, and it's not real cheap. But if you want to support a kid that's doing stuff that he was told he couldn't do,
yeah,
this might be good to look into.
The Crippling Hot Sauce Company. You looking it up?
Yeah.
Cool.
You've got quite a few, 5 different flavors.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Crippling Agony is one of them.
I love hot sauce. Like, even if it's a party trick, like that show, by the way, Hot Ones.
The Hot Ones, yeah.
Man, talk about a hit. And because it's
that guy's so lucked into that. I mean,
well, but he's also
timing.
him and his research team, they're fantastic.
The timing was perfect with the COVID and all.
But
Man.
yeah, it's I've done it at parties or like you have some friends over. It's just a fun thing to engage in, I'll say. So yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. And he's got some mild stuff too. He's got 5 different flavors, and they each get a little warmer.
Yeah, one of them's called Just for Parking. That's a mild sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all like handicap.
Yeah. And the other one, the medium one, is called Limping.
That's
Limping. You got Crippling Agony, Limping Agony, and Just for the Parking.
Yep.
And I think he's got this. He's got his pepper in like 500 stores.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. Forgotten what it said in the article. But
You should send a care package to that teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just give him a whole dozen of the agony ones. Yeah. All right, well, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Jimmy.
the show.
272-9228.
You used to be a hot sauce fanatic there for a bit, wasn't you?
Yeah,
I
I
just
just
from Baumhauer's at.
Well, I still use hot sauce. Craig and I think both use the like the truffle hot sauce.
Yeah, I eat black truffle hot sauce on like 2 or 3 meals a day.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Not like, but in like breakfast in the morning,
Yeah.
I usually get like a big old wrap with like eggs and sausage and cheese and stuff in it.
Well, there's some hot
And
sauce in there.
I used to do the truffle hot sauce. I've now moved to just mustard.
Yellow?
No calories in mustard. Tastes good. I love the flavor.
Yellow,
And-
just plain yellow mustard.
Yeah, plain yellow mustard. I've tried others. Just plain yellow mustard's all right. Like especially on breakfast stuff, like with sausage in there, it's like
Really good
hard
on
to beat.
catfish, fried catfish.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like a good combination on like savory stuff, like my chicken and rice. I'll put mustard and add a little bit of cinnamon in there. It's not bad.
Really?
It's kind of an odd combo in the
different,
brain,
yeah.
but yeah.
And then the one I've been eating up too much is the chili crunch or chili crisp. I've heard it called both, where it's like a bunch of red pepper flake chili oil, but then there's like the one I'm getting has black truffle in it and peanuts and like all sorts of stuff. So it's like a thick paste, like with that oil, and you just put that on pasta or rice or whatever. It's so good. But be careful, especially if you have some of the more Asian peppers in there. You might not be ready for the
Get a little
numbness. and
backfire action.
yeah, some of those things in there, but it makes certain things just pop, like the flavor profile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those Sichuan peppercorns, the ones that make your mouth all numb.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they do something to flavors. It's almost like MSG. It's like it just enhances anything.
What's in like when you get Chinese? It's the mustard, the spicy mustard. I wonder what pepper is in that spicy mustard.
I have no idea.
Because it's not horseradish.
It's not a
something slightly
horseradish, but yeah, it used to, man. That used to be the stuff that burned my nose bad, but now
love
it's the what's the green stuff? I can't
Wasabi?
Wasabi. But most of that ends up being horseradish.
Yeah,
at the end of the day now.
it's not
So, yeah.
legit wasabi, which
Right.
is pretty expensive.
Yeah, it
That's
is
what I
actually
understand
pretty,
it,
and
yeah.
it's very good. It's way less extreme. Like real
Oh, yeah?
wasabi is
Real
way
taste?
less. Yeah, it's very good.
One, it's only going to get more expensive. with all these tariffs, am I right? God, I keep
What's wrong
hearing
with the
all sorts
American
of stuff.
wasabi?
Though I did
Hi,
see
American.
today, Trump better watch out. He's pissed off the gaming community.
Oh no.
The Nintendo Switch 2 was just
Oh,
announced
no.
this week. In fact, my brother texted me. He's like, "We want to get it in the summer so we can like." He's like, "I don't play video games by myself anymore. But if you join, we could play games together and stuff remotely." I'm like, "I'll think about it." So I looked at it. Pretty cool tech. I think Nintendo's got another hit on their hands. But the pre-orders that everybody was about to jump on have been pushed back because of the tariffs. And the price was already ridiculous. People estimating something like $450 for the brand new, if not $500 for the brand new Nintendo Switch too. You're talking $80, $90 for games.
That's what I was going to ask you. How much per game?
Like they also have this camera they'll sell with it for $50 and a remote control. Like
That's what it gets you, baby. The nickel and diamond.
I mean, the cool stuff is like if you're my age and you remember the nostalgia of the GameCube.
Oh yeah,
all the GameCube games are going to be on there to play. All the old Nintendo games are already on the Switch devices and stuff. But yeah, because it's Nintendo is out of Japan, they're like, well, we're going to hold off until we settle this whole tariff thing.
I was going to wait till this week to buy a drone, but because of tariffs, I bought it last week because I knew they were going to jack up. It's coming from China. Got it just under there.
But this story we keep teasing here, the young woman's name is Mary Kate Cornett. She's 19 years old. And she's reportedly considering legal action after a rumor went viral, trending #1 at one point on X. The rumor was that she had slept with her boyfriend's father.
That's kind of what I had heard.
So she did an exclusive interview with NBC News. Pretty girl, young girl.
Well, he's 19.
And let's listen in.
Internet, half of the country hating you and calling you disgusting things, telling you to kill yourself, telling you that you're a horrible person, that you deserve to die. That's a really hard thing for a girl to go through.
In her first TV interview, Ole Miss freshman Mary Kate Cornett told me how she became famous on the internet and social media in the worst possible way. In February, an online rumor went viral, claiming an Ole Miss sorority sister slept with her boyfriend's father. Then someone attached Cornett's name and photo to it. Do you know why the rumor started?
No clue. No clue. I had zero knowledge of this.
This disgusting rumor was a top trending topic on Twitter.
Within 2.5 hours. Later that night, around 7 p.m., I was #1 trending in the United States. I felt so helpless and so alone because so many people were hating on me for something that I had no idea anything about. I mean, I'm a very normal person. Just like any teenage girl, I care about what people think about me. I mean, any teenage girl can relate to that.
Cornett's phone number was also shared online. She was overwhelmed with harassing texts and voicemails.
I was having thousands of calls come through, thousands of texts coming through.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. I think at that point, you just get rid of your phone.
Yeah, turn it off. Go hit the beach.
So there was a story dying, and so she went on the news to get some attention back again. Am I picking that up on the wrong or something?
No, there are a few people suggesting that. Let's keep going.
Calling me a whore, calling me a slut, telling me I deserve to die.
When you look back at the last 5 weeks, is there one moment that sticks out for you?
With myself, it would probably be at 3 a.m. when I was throwing up while holding the phone with all of the texts on it. Just saying how horrible of a person I was and that I should end my life.
All because of an internet rumor.
All because of an internet rumor that has zero truth to it. Zero.
Cornett says she could barely leave her dorm room, had to switch to online classes. Someone even sent police to her mother's house in a fake 911 call.
Some Ole Miss frat bro.
Yep, sir.
Okay. Had a KD girlfriend.
Soon, the rumor was picked up by ESPN host Pat McAfee, though he didn't use her name.
Right.
This is what is being reported by everybody on the internet.
Now, like, before we keep going with this, like, I don't even remember her name.
I don't remember her name.
Until I saw this story.
Nope. And now there's a crap load of memes out there. I've seen a lot of the memes with her picture, but I don't know if her name was on there, but her picture and her boyfriend and the dad. But
yeah.
And honestly, I don't know if it's him. It's just picture, and I'm assuming it's him because that's what the storyline goes with. But
well, in these days, it's like there's so many crazy. Think of all the like teachers sleeping with student stories. We get so many crazy sex depravity stories that, like, I can see why this would go viral and people would assume it's probably true. But I didn't remember seeing her name attached to it. That's pretty awful. But let's keep going here. What are they going to try to do out of this?
Dad had sex with son's girlfriend.
Has anyone apologized to you?
No. No. They have not at all. I want these famous people to know that I was not famous before this. I'm not a public figure that you can go talk about on your show to get more views. I'm not. Sorry. Nobody knows who I am, or nobody did know who I was. But them pressing this and pushing it farther made my situation so much worse. Because the people who were talking about it are the people that I would want to take a picture with if I saw it in public. They're people that I watched. Pat McAfee, ESPN. That's on my living room TV every single night.
That's gotta hurt that he's talking a bit that way.
It does, because I used to look up to these people, and now these same people are making me feel worthless.
Yeah.
And that I'm just a joke.
ESPN and Pat McAfee declined NBC News' request for comment. Cornett says she hit rock bottom when she realized her name would forever be linked to the rumor spread online.
I don't think that these boys realize what they're doing to people. It's awful. It's awful. And having your life ruined by people who have no idea who you are is the worst feeling in the world. It makes you feel so alone.
Cornett now wants justice. Her lawyer says she's been defamed and is a victim of cyberbullying.
The rumor is false. People promoted it without looking into it. You can't lie for money.
Are there laws that protect Mary Kate? Because it seems like the internet, social media, it's the wild, wild west.
To some degree, the law hasn't caught up with the speed at which a lie travels online and the fact that it's now kind of anchored to her name forever. But defamation exists. There's growing protections against cyberbullying. There's growing protections against, making fake pictures, which has also happened to Mary Kate. The legal regime is catching up.
For now, she says she's leaning on her friends and family, including her father.
I just wonder why. Why my daughter? She wasn't looking for any of this. She never asked for any attention. She's just trying to be a freshman in college.
Instead, she's been tested like never before.
I have no idea how this started or why, but I do know that this has affected me in such an awful way and has practically ruined my life.
Yeah, what would you tell to that person?
Just that your actions have consequences, real consequences, that I will be living and facing for the rest of my life. That many other girls face things like this that will affect the rest of their lives.
Tom Yamas, NBC News.
Rest of your life, yeah, not so much.
Yeah,
right. I mean,
I think most people had forgotten about this.
Right, until it went on the news and brought it back up. So,
I mean, and as someone who has faced, I can promise you more backlash than this lady, you can just ignore it. You really can.
Right.
Like, you said turn your phone off. Like, these are people that you don't know. Like, were your friends talking smack about you? Well, then get some new friends. But I doubt that was happening. Probably everyone around her was like, man, this sucks. I'm sorry. That should be it. Let's go get a burger. Like, just quit complaining that the internet is a thing. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's stupid.
Well, shut it down for a bit. Shut it down for a bit. How hard is that?
And like, if you're going to point it like Pat McAfee, he didn't even say your name.
Nope.
No. And he didn't make any, and he's not the one making claims. He's like, oh, there's this rumor that X, Y, and Z happened.
Allegedly,
yes. Oh, yeah, you're not, I mean, what is he supposed to do? Give you a call?
Yeah, and it does to me, it comes across as like NBC News can't wait to have a story where they can put more hooks in the internet. Like, let's be like Germany.
Germany?
Where, you remember those stories 60 Minutes did, where the Germans have arrested hundreds of people. I think the UK's arrested thousands of people for stuff they post online. Is that really the world you want to go into?
Well, that's curious too. So let's say I do that as a citizen here and I go visit my brother in the UK. Would they arrest me for something?
They might.
That's what I'm wondering. And if that's the case, how do we test that court?
No, but then you need to claim diplomatic immunity.
Well, they can't arrest me anyway. But yeah, we got to get somebody to do that. We need to challenge the court system.
Where are you an ambassador from, sir? A diplomat from? I'm an ambassador from a good time.
That's right. I'm a doctor of love.
I'm Mr. Bader.
Haven't you seen my sign?
Have you seen his sign?
Which one?
For sale sign.
Find it. Show it to Craig.
I know he's seen it, but
I've been keeping up with what he's been doing online. I just don't know the sign that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
someone where you're holding a bush light.
Yeah, I'm probably holding a bush light. It's from it's a creative photography. Not really. I was holding a bush light July 4th, and my daughter-in-law said, "Hey," and I turned around and she snapped the photo. And my brilliant partner Hannah said, "Hey, let's take that fun photo and let's put it in some advertising." And I was a little hesitant about it, but everybody enjoys it. So, and I'll be honest, it's me. I look at it. It's me. There's no denying it's me.
That's you through and through.
Yeah.
I saw the one of you and Hannah when you're wearing that very patriotic shirt of yours.
That was yesterday. We had a great closing yesterday. Yeah, things are going well in the business here lately.
Yeah, and you still haven't taken me out to dinner.
No, I'm waiting for the governor thing because I saw a thing this week that made me a little nervous about it again, where he's saying, I got to go where they need me. I'm like, Craig, you been talking to him?
For the audience, what's y'all's bet here?
I'm going to take Craig out for a delicious dinner if Tuberville runs for mayor, or not mayor, but governor of Alabama. Because that's Craig says.
I believe that he will.
So the bet is Tuberville running for governor. You think he is?
I think he is. So if Tuberville runs for governor, Eddie has to supply me with a delicious meal.
Yeah,
I like this.
He's lucky I don't drink too, because I would totally abuse that as well. If we were taking
we'd do it. We'd go down together, baby.
What's the toppest shelf tequila that you have?
Yeah.
Bring all of it.
That Skull. You ever seen the Skull vodka? I think Dan Aykroyd or somebody makes it. That stuff's
Really?
like $400 a bottle.
For vodka?
For vodka.
Isn't vodka supposed to just taste like nothing?
It's potato water,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah.
I've
seen The
get
Great
tequila.
Escape. That's where
That's
I
right.
learned about that.
potato water.
Now, shifting gears here, I just want to read this direct. This is from the Telegraph.
All right.
And it's about the French president, Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron wears so much cologne that aides scent his presence before he enters the room, according to a new book on life in the...
Because he's French and he don't bathe. Everybody knows that.
And what is seen as a deliberate attribute of power, Mr. Macron sprays on quote-unquote industrial amounts of Dior Eau Sauvage. Ugh.
Really?
Ugh.
Yeah, dude, a lot of the Slovaks we used to work with, same thing. They
The
wouldn't wear
100
deodorant, but they would put the juice on.
The 100 milliliter bottles retail at a little over 104 euros. And Mr. Macron always has a bottle to hand, particularly in one of the drawers of his desk. The book claims that less accustomed visitors may find themselves overcome by the floral and musky scent. As refined as it is powerful, it is a sign of one thing, that the president is in the building.
Maybe
Just
that's just a lot.
Just as Louis XIV made his perfumes an attribute of power when he paraded through the galleries of Versailles, Emmanuel Macron uses his as an element of his authority at the Elysee. I don't even remember how to say that. It is a best-selling fragrance in the world and is inextricably linked to Johnny Depp, who has been the face of its advertising since 2015. By the way, that last story bringing up defamation and like what people can say in public, like when you're a public figure, this is even worse. Talk about a guy who was vindicated in a lot of ways. Not completely. He still behaved very badly, but
it's Johnny Depp.
But everybody got to see that whole Amber Heard case
She
was
really crapped the bed.
literally. Yeah. So, I mean,
So until you get with a girlfriend like that, Joey, they're not really psycho. But that's the part where they officially crossed the line.
Mr. Macron is known to like to stage manage his virility by wearing open-necked shirts and has released black and white photos of himself boxing. I want Trump to start doing
I bet there ain't no grass on that playground either.
No, there is a lot of grass.
Gross.
And when we go to the top.
Gross,
here,
Joey.
Hold on.
I would.
Here's the photo to prove what they're talking about. There's a lot of hair.
Good Lord.
There. He is
Is he Italian?
hairy man.
Look at that.
Greg, you seen this? He's
a bear.
hairy.
Oh, wow.
That's a bear that has escaped from the circus.
That's like Robin Williams level.
Yeah.
Ew. Ew.
Do you parlez-vous français?
No.
Oof.
I wanted no. I'm reading through all this. There's a lot more details, but clearly it's not meant to make us look good. I even wonder if deep down he doesn't get a kick out of seeing us with these things. We look so stupid. Huh.
Well, it worked for Vladimir for a while. Remember, he would stand there bare-chested, ride the horse, play with the bear, that kind of thing. And people were like, man, Vladimir Putin's strong.
No, what I was talking about there, and like he gives us these things to make us look stupid. The French president also insists that aides keep a box of dark glasses, each uglier than the last, to be given to guests he quizzes in the garden when the sun is out in case they forgot their own. He has a case containing about 20 pairs of secondhand glasses of all shapes, not really fashionable, some with crooked arms, other with red rims, even a little ridiculous, from which you have to choose in order to be allowed to stay.
I got those on my boat. We got a bunch of pair of ugly sunglasses for people that don't have any. We got them on the boat.
You do have that?
Yeah. They're ugly by intent. So next time you'll remember to bring them and you don't steal them.
No, as a power move, should I just start bathing in cologne?
No.
You don't think that would work out well?
It's not. It's a very European move, and it will not work out well for you.
What will happen?
I can't say it on the air. You'll be busy, though.
Busy?
Yeah. Deleting phone calls. I can't take that call. I can't. Yeah.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And if you're a man, you like to, have that edge, have that energy, that feeling that you can, if it's a problem, you can run right at it.
That's right.
But instead, if you're feeling like you're always tired, like you have no motivation, no sex drive to speak of, loss of muscle mass, unwanted weight gain, you're not sleeping well, like you're sleeping. You try to go to bed at the right time, but you're not getting the proper sleep. You just wake up exhausted. Well, knowing whether you have low testosterone is huge in combating some of these issues. And the providers here at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. It's really just a quick blood draw, a few basic quality of life questions. And if you do, in fact, have low testosterone, they have low T treatments at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change men's lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. Right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
It's all right.
And you can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, call them up right now, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Adams Drugs has been committed to the healthcare of the people of the River Region for over 62 years. We value the trust each customer has in our pharmacists, techs, and entire staff. If you have not experienced the difference of Adams Drugs and are not satisfied with the customer service that you get in the big box stores, we invite you to visit any of our locations and see how committed we are to your satisfaction. Adams Drugs offers a variety of services that you will not find in all pharmacies in the River Region. Personalized compounding, area-wide delivery, wellness screenings, immunizations, medication consultations, and specialized packaging, just to name a few. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs has 12 convenient locations to serve you. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Adams Drugs is your local Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Biscuits Baseball is back in 2025 with opening weekend presented by the Vance Law Firm. It's from Friday, April 4th to Sunday, April 6th. It all starts opening night with a pregame block party and a Max fireworks show. On Saturday, fans can watch another edition of postgame Max fireworks. Sunday, there's a visit from Bluey at the ballpark. And remember to wear your blue. It's a blue out all weekend. For tickets and information, visit biscuitsbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. For over 21 years, Blue Water Broadcasting has been a proud part of the River Region. We're not just a company, we're your neighbors. Our owners, air staff, account executives, and support team all live right here. We believe in this community, and we stand by our slogan, Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We have had an incredible string of record-breaking warmth and storm-free days, and it's not quite over yet. Tonight, partly cloudy, very mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 66. Tomorrow, breezy, a dry day tomorrow, and we're dry through the evening hours Saturday night. High temperature up to about 89. Then, close to dawn on Sunday, showers and thunderstorms move in. A severe weather threat Sunday with damaging winds and the threat of tornadoes. We'll keep a close tab on that for you. For now, from the Tropical Weather Conference in South Padre Island, Texas, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Budget Floors & More is your low-price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Rounding the corner here on a Friday. Well, Craig likes this new poppy one. This has actually got fully written lyrics, everything. I wrote this like 22. I don't know when but it's like, hey, I remember this. Why not record at least the instrumental to it? Real quick.
Good. I like it.
But I'm looking at 1890news.com. There's one thing we mentioned in passing earlier in the show. Ledbetter, that Speaker Ledbetter, shoots down overtime tax extension despite bipartisan support. I believe is it Stodhagen or
Stodhagen? Yes.
Stodhagen.
It's spelled Stadfagen, but yeah, it's
Stodhagen.
It's yes.
I'm
Scott Stadhagen.
I've been. Wait, I thought you said when you said his first name, you said it different.
I said Scott Stadhagen.
Stodhagen.
It's kind of a amalgamation.
I've seen the guy almost every week when I go hang out with Jeff Fort at the State House and shake his hand.
Pronounces his name wrong the whole time.
Maybe I should just ask him straight up, but he's a big man.
Actually, I hear both, and so I honestly don't think he gives a hoot.
Yeah, but Scott Stodhagen actually was co-sponsoring this along with House Minority Leader Anthony Daniels.
Yeah, and there are a few other Republicans that joined on as well. I think 5 total Republicans joined on to Daniels' bill. And Daniels told me personally yesterday that more have come up to him and said, "Hey, I'm backing this too." They can't add their names now because it's already been filed, but they can later if they want to.
And is there any way to work around the speaker?
Technically, yes. Does that happen?
No, not in the state.
I mean, it's ultimately up to the rules committee to do the calendar for the day, but the rules chair is not going to defy the speaker because he won't be the rules chair for long. So there's a reason why the rules chair is the rules chair, because there's a copacetic relationship there, if you want to put it that way.
And the quote you have from Ledbetter he's the one pouring cold water all over this, saying it's not going to happen. We're not going to extend the tax exemption for overtime work. He said, quote, "I'm a fiscal conservative. When it was $30 million, I certainly was in favor of it, and I thought it was something we could do. I think the reason you sunset bills is to have an opportunity to look at them again and see if it's possible to make them work or not work. And we went from $30 million to, in the last fiscal note I seen, was $320 million. That's a big difference. I'm not saying we can't come back at some point in time and try to do something with that." He continued saying, "This quadrennium, if those tax bills pass, the other ones that Danny Garrett's introduced with instead of going on a rant here, I'll just keep reading the quote. This quadrennium, if those tax bills pass, we have reduced taxpayer taxes to the tune of $1.6 billion in this quadrennium alone, with over 15 different tax cuts. So to say that this body hadn't done their part would be an overstatement, more than anybody has ever done in state history."
Yeah, he said understatement, but I had to put brackets and put the over because
I noticed that.
He didn't mean that. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, I noticed that. In the last fiscal note I seen. Yeah, that's...
Don't get me in trouble.
It's how he said it. It's a direct quote.
It's hard to quote. Yeah.
But it's okay.
There's about 20 knows that just didn't end up in the quote because, yeah.
So my question is, over the last 4 years, if they pass this latest tax one where it's the grocery tax, but the indexed. So it's almost like, well, we promised you this, but we'll get rid of the index and just go ahead and give it to you fully, which is annoying, number one.
Yeah.
But if you've cut taxes to the tune of $1.6 billion in the last 4 years, how much has the budget grown in the last 4 years? By billions of dollars, right? But I'm a fiscal conservative.
Yeah, and
I don't
has anyone
understand this.
felt those tax cuts? Like,
No. Well, and I think Anthony Daniels, when he was here a few weeks back, made a fantastic point. I'd imagine you've heard it from him direct.
Yeah.
Is that in this new climate where Trump is resetting the tariff schedule worldwide, you're seeing Trump push it at the congressional level, and we should do it here at the state level, make work, incentivizing work more and more attractive. Like, you want to take off any taxes that are going to disincentivize work. Our labor participation rate's already not great. This seemed to have been helping. And if you're saying now the fiscal note is $320 million, that's $320 million out of workers' pockets.
Right.
Well, they're also going to have to ride the wave of trying to change up this whole tariff schedule. Like, I just, it's very annoying because I know they could do this without having to cut a penny.
Yes.
In the frickin' budget.
Look at other states. Look what Mississippi did.
Oh,
you think
they
Alabama could ever do anything that dramatic?
Well, I appreciate the Republicans who are on board with this, and maybe there's a way to force the speaker's hand.
Sure,
but I think you're right earlier, Craig, that
it's just not going to happen. That's not the way that it works up there. It just doesn't.
And also not going to happen. Garland Gudger, the Senate pro tem, explained to Dale Jackson why they're pouring cold water all over the gambling bill that Greg Albritton, Senator Albritton, has brought up, saying we ended up pulling our consensus together of all our colleagues in the Senate doing an independent vote count and just looking at the numbers there. We just don't have the votes. There were just 2 less votes to even get into that topic. And so we decided we needed to shut it down, and we're going into it. And when you go into it, it takes all the air out of the room. But we did not have the votes to go forward. And I'm not going to put my colleagues through what it takes to go through that particular topic. Again, gaming and gambling, which is the most strenuous topic that we deal with, it seems like, each year. And so we want to focus on things that they wanted to get done, their constituents wanted to get done. And so that is what my decision was yesterday as the pro tem.
Yeah, he literally came out with a statement like an hour after the bill was dropped. I never actually got to lay eyes on it. I don't know if it got filed. It wasn't online when I went to go look for it, but they said it had been filed.
I think it was filed.
So did they pull it that quick? Or
I don't know. There was a write-up at, I think, casino.org or something. Shocking. I said good because doing this last second, I think Gudger's reasoning here is sound.
I agree.
But why is this the evergreen issue in this state? It's been around long, as that great call Michael explained earlier. It's been around longer than I've been alive. I'm born in December 1st, 1988. That's when this whole Indian Gaming Regulatory Act gets passed.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it in this state ever since. What an absolute mess. Also at the top of the page at 1819news.com, both Britt and Tuberville back Trump's tariffs. I think he's saying enough is enough. Well, all right then.
Well, that's no surprise there. They're not going to go against the man.
Yeah, and it seems like those two are completely in Trump's under his wing. They're not trying to test him. They're not trying to change anything. They might push him on a particular topic, but they seem to be working arm in arm with the guy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only person that's even slightly deviated was Katie Britt whenever it came to like cutting some of the Doge cuts. But even then, she was more like, we need to be, she didn't criticize it, but she was like, we may need to be careful about, being a little bit more cautious about what we're cutting. And that's the closest any of them ever come from diverting.
Be a little more cautious. I think we need to speed up.
I concur.
Yeah.
I want more cuts. Slash it. Slash it. Slash it.
Yeah, but it's interesting how when you actually have to take your medicine and feel the pain of improvement, a lot of folks are like, no, what's wrong with there's a lot wrong with the way we've been doing things.
But it's the people that are hollering that have no idea why they're hollering.
Yeah.
That's what kills me.
Yeah, like the person who lost their job, I can get why they're hollering.
Sure.
But the rando who isn't really connected to this in big ways I don't get it.
I hate admitting it, but on the Facebook, I'll look at the City Watch post, and you couldn't believe how many people are complaining about tariffs. And I really want to go, and they're saying, it's killing my 401k. Most of you do not have a 401k.
It's a parade of morons on City Watch Uncut.
Yeah, that's true.
but there's some good fights on there.
It's the nincompoopery writ large.
Yeah, but there's some good fights.
If you want to lose your faith in humanity, go look at that Facebook page.
But 401ks are kind of turds in general, aren't they?
Yes, Craig. Yes, they are.
So it's like,
let's say, Craig, let's say that I talk you into you giving me just say $10 a week for the next 10 years, but in the middle of it, you need a couple bucks. So I'll loan you that money. Okay. You'll pay yourself the interest back, which sounds great, except I'm going to charge you a heck of a fee. And let's say, God forbid, Craig, you suddenly need that money. Well, I'm going to keep 40% and I didn't do anything, but hold your money.
Does that come from capital gains or what the actual
it's the fee?
Keeps?
That's the fine. That is the money you will pay.
A broker fee?
That is the money you will pay the holder of that 401k to release your funds. That is a fine. That's what it is. It's a penalty.
Are there plans where it's yours and it's more a defined contribution?
If you do a
like a match agreement, for instance.
Well, yeah, you do the match,
and it goes with you wherever you go.
Yes. However, it's better. A 401k is free money. Take the money that the company's going to give you up to that matching. But other than that, go talk to your financial institution about a real retirement. Something that's not going to tax the crap out of you.
Maybe just put it in a regular fund. And I mean, there's whole thing where you have to wait 25 years or whatever, and then you have to pay a boatload of fines if you take it out early. That just seems like a bad gig.
They looked at Social Security and said, "Hey, I think we can get some more rubes."
By the way, I just checked. I love how Bitcoin is not tracking with the stock market.
I've been meaning to ask you.
It's up 2.5% today.
Good deal. I've been meaning to ask you that all week, man.
It's interesting though, watching it lately.
Yeah.
Like there's clearly once you get near 90, there is a sell wall.
Is that right?
Like crazy.
People must have it built in.
I think what's happening is these big institutions are making so much money off the volatility.
Yeah.
Making so much money off of it at this point. What I'm hoping for with Bitcoin is if Jerome Powell finally does cry uncle and be like, yeah, we're going to start cutting interest rates again. It'll be interesting to see where Bitcoin goes
where
after
we're
that.
headed. That could be something.
And there's
we're headed
more
for.
legislation being introduced on Bitcoin explicitly, as well as stable coins, other cryptocurrency by Cynthia Lummis and Kirsten Gillibrand, the New York senator. She's backing a lot of this stuff.
What about the Haktua coin?
Oh God!
You know, they let her go. They told her that.
Really?
Yeah, they said, "I'm sorry, you were just a schmuck. Don't ever do nothing like this again."
Well, good.
Yeah. So she's probably back at the Spring Factory working. But yeah.
And that girl.
I know, man.
On one drunken night, you got to spit on that thing, and it becomes an internet sensation.
But that other girl, that 19-year-old we were just talking about, she had a problem with that same kind of attention,
exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, first of all, I just think it's gross. Her whole fame arc is gross.
Yes,
but you can't hate on her for trying to cash out.
That's
on
my part. She tried to do something with. She literally was working at a factory, a spring factory.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her for that. But
when you look online, you're like, there are different levels of gross.
Yeah.
Like there's Bonnie Blue, gross.
I don't even know who that is.
She's a porn star. Mm-hmm. She broke the record. She slept with 1,000 men in 24 hours. She wants to break that record and sleep with 2,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure her relationship with her father is terrific.
Oh,
I remember hearing about her. I just didn't remember her name.
No, and there was of all people, Russell Brand interviewed her recently, and after his whole conversion, he's like, "I know you think you're doing a good thing or you're living your life and you feel free and all this stuff, but he's trying to talk her off the ledge of what she's doing." She's like, "No, I enjoy it."
Let me talk to you when you're 40.
She'll never see 40.
I mean, if your guy 1,999, oh my God.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
It is disgusting. So my point is, there are different levels of gross.
Yes.
In terms of online fame and notoriety.
How do you find 2,000 guys? I know we're pigs, but how do you find 2,000 guys?
What are you talking about? Like an obese hairdresser?
They're gonna have to stand in line for a few minutes.
I'm saying like you could take a 300-pound hairdresser who smells like Marlboros and sadness, and she could find 2,000 people relatively easy. That's how disgusting.
And she'll
males
at least
are.
like
you're
eat
right.
cake with you afterwards.
I should probably steal your cake.
I like to eat Pringles in the afterglow. That would probably go crazy on OF. You do a sex tape and then a mukbang.
Oh, yeah, where you eat like all the Pringles, Pringle flavors. Right. By the way Eddie said probably steal your cake. It sounds like that's happened to you.
Yeah, that sounds personal when I said that. Who ate all the cake? Did all this work? We ain't got no cake.
Would you get Black Widowed, but instead of getting killed, it's just they stole your cake?
They stole my strawberry shortcake.
Oh man, it's been a minute since I've had a strawberry shortcake.
I thought you were more a buttercream guy.
No, but that lasagna you put on the other day, that goth lasagna, that looked pretty good.
Emo lasagna. Yeah.
Yes, that looked pretty good.
We got to hit a break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
It's the best sale of the season during CAFCO's Spring Open House. Save on Easter and home decor, floral supplies, and gifts. Find inspiration for your home in our new merchandise. Visit daily for door prices, new deals, and surprises throughout the store. Saturday, join us 10:30 for a wreath-making demo by Karen Gresham and music by Brian Brantley, noon till 3. Shop our Spring Open House Thursday through Saturday from 9 till 5 for huge savings on our already low outlet pricing. CAFCO Outlet on the Wetumpka Highway.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Well, I would be doing a lot better if I was on the road going to Florida right now.
Oh, going to see the Gulf of America?
Yeah. This goes to the turkey hunters. If you're a turkey hunter, listen in for a second. This is how my weekend's going now. I lined up a trip to go hunt Osceolas with my buddy Stu down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're not a turkey hunter, I'm sorry, I've already lost you. You don't even know what I've said. But if you're a turkey hunter, you know exactly what I just said. So we went when she was 15 and she got a Jake. And I lined it up to go again this weekend. And I was like, look, we're gonna get something we can put on the wall at the store. And she comes up to the room, comes in last night and said, Dad, I hate to tell you this, but I've got two major projects that just hit my desk, and they're due Monday morning, and there's no way I can go. So I'm still in Prattville.
Oh, Ray.
Man, I'm
I know.
sorry.
Breaks my heart. But hey, I told her the upside to it. I said I can't throw stones because what would I do if I was at Prattville Carpet and I had a major project pop up on me? She said you'd cancel the trip.
Yep.
I said absolutely because
Yep.
I've done that plenty of times before.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I said I'm actually proud of you because that shows a lot of maturity and a lot of growth that you will do what you got to do to get the work done first because that's what comes first. A true turkey hunter is throwing his fist in there and hollering, "No, it does not." So yeah, we're not on our way to Florida. I'm still in Prattville working like a madman. So if y'all need a floor, call us 285-8117. Please do something to help me cheer up my day. So call the guys and have them come out and give you that free measurement.
Just that simple, folks. 285-8117. When you call them up at 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie, and just play with the puppy some this weekend. You might feel a little better.
I'm going to go turkey hunting this weekend, but Sailor's not.
Yeah, he's still going.
He's still
going.
going.
Yeah,
He's still going.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm just not hunting an Osceola.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like a
It
really
is
big special? Yeah, big. Okay.
Turkey
You know,
hunting
it's just hard 'cause there's very few of them.
Mhm.
Oh.
And they're only in South Florida. And like a guided hunt's like, what, $4,000?
At least.
Woo!
At least.
Where I can go for free and we're on airboats hunting the backside in swamps behind Disney World.
You know, Ray, you could have just called one of us and you would have got somebody to go with you.
Totally.
It sounds like you
I
just
know.
needed a passenger.
Yeah, I know. Well, what I needed was Sailor, but that was shot to pieces thanks to the Talbot County school system.
School is for fools.
Yeah, Ray,
I
you didn't lose my number, Ray. If you need a partner,
I got my
like,
own shotgun.
Yeah. I like to talk crap about turkey hunters too, so you need to convert me.
Oh.
Yo, no, once you do it, don't do it because it's the most addictive thing. You won't care about deer hunting or anything.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing. That's why I've always talked crap about the turkey hunters because, like, I'm going to go out there all day and I just get a turkey as opposed to like several hundred pounds of deer meat. It seems like the juice is way more worth the squeeze. But you need to convert me. I'm asking to be converted.
Asking for conversion.
When you go deer hunting, what do? You sit in the stand very quietly for hours on end saying nothing. You can't say, "Here, dearie, dearie, dearie."
Yeah, but I listen to audiobooks and try not to fall asleep.
But when you go out there and you gobble, and they gobble back at you, and they come running across the field knowing that you fixed to kill this stupid bird, and he sees you about 50 yards out and darts to the left, it drives you insane.
Yeah. Well, I see the thing. I only have a tactical shotgun. Does that work in hunting scenarios?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
You're going to bring that bird up closer to you and me.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Daggone.
You got my number, yo.
Let's see how that's
All right,
fun.
brother.
Thanks, Ray.
See you, Ray.
Actually, I can see how that's a lot of fun. That close?
Yeah.
Before you take a shot?
Yeah.
Woo!
I want to
And,
do
and
it.
they have they see very well, like great vision. So you have to sort of coax them over.
A little bit, yeah, that, but they think there's something over there trying to kind of come on their territory. So, you know, when you get mad, you're like kind of have blinding rage.
Yeah.
So,
Like bowing up.
Yeah.
I think you should just go. I think you should make it more difficult and just have to go with a 22 and just only headshots. Only headshots.
Headshot on.
Now, this guy earlier was trying to like build me up and like how tough I was and fighting because he wants me to like Troy Carrico to like really put a move on me or something and hurt me. And
What are you talking about? Told me you're a young guy and you know he's a.
I have no training.
Combat specialist of some
Yeah,
sort.
I have no
so-
training.
Right. So this would be a good way to do it. You have no training. We have someone that's perfectly trained. Y'all are about the same size.
Meanwhile, I have my mouth guard and gloves in the back
Oh.
of my car all 24/7 in case anyone wants to get freaky.
Oh, really?
No, it's in the back. I got these on sale. They're actually really good mouth guards from Damage Control is the place.
You
that
got
it's
like a
called.
heavy bag or something?
Well, no, I used to. I actually need to get one. It's great cardio, but I used
Yeah,
to
it
have,
is.
and I used to train at the jiu-jitsu
Dexter.
place up here. Yeah,
I mean, he rides around with it in his trunk.
yeah. In case anybody wants to get gully, you know, I got to
In
protect
case
these.
road rage
investments.
is so bad that you wear a mouth. You got
Dude,
a
if
mouthpiece.
someone,
in the
imagine
trunk.
that you're getting a road rage, someone pops out and throws in a mouth guard. You're
Dude, I'm
driving
out.
off.
I'm out. I'm like, you win, baby. You win.
It's all illusion.
And on that disturbing note, Greg Budel's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana News Talk